Welcome, everybody, to a brand new live episode of the Outlaw Nation Show here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am your host, John Rocha, and I'm excited tonight. I have fortified the walls in the Outlaw Nation studio. I fireproofed the walls in the Outlaw Nation studio because I know we're going to have ourselves a hell of a time over the next 2 hours with our guest. Before I bring him on, I just want to let you all know that this tonight, every super chat, every Streamlab donation you send in is going straight to a Black Lives Matter foundation or charity. Doing that with pretty much most of my shows this week. I want to give a love to what's happening out there, seeing so many people marching, protesting, millions upon millions all over the world, really kind of protesting for being seen as equal, being treated equally, and trying to ask people to listen once and for all and make some changes. Thanks to all of you who have been watching my content as we've tackled these subjects and, tackled them head on like we did on Monday on Game Time and the previous Monday on Game Time with my guest today. And also like we did with Dorena Arellano with my last Outlaw Nation episode last week. We talked all about it as well. I imagine we're going to get into it today as well and also talk about what the toll has been like on my guest and get into some stand-up comedy, maybe even talk a little pro wrestling. We don't know where the show is going to go, and that's what I like the most about a show like this and a guest like my guest. One last thing, Wiley Todd's going to come in about halfway through the show, but if you're and tell you how you can come on to ask your questions live, if you want to ask questions live, we do reserve the first few minutes for our patrons. So our patrons, if you're an Outlaw Nation patron right now, you can come in, get in line to ask your question live of me and my guest. And without further ado, let's get him up on the screen now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome stand-up comedian, professional wrestler, pundit, critic, host, talker of all things, opinionated as F, which I love him for all around, and one of my favorite people to have fun with on the planet, and the co-host of Blurs in the Hood, the co-host of Game Time with me here on the Outlaw Nation channel, and he's got his own Mad Titan podcast and his own YouTube channel as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Jay Washington. What are you? What's up, Jay? How's it going, man?
You also forgot he is also tired as hell. He took a nap and had to wake up. Let me tell you something. When you take a nap, when that nap start getting good and your alarm go off and you like, hey, fuck you to your clock. But I'm happy to be here, bro. I really am. All talks, all BS aside, I'm very, very happy to be here, man. It was just, it's been a very long week.
Yeah, sure.
Couple weeks. So, you asked me, I said it on everything we've been on since Game Time and everything. Like, you asked me a couple days ago, was like, yo, you still good? I understand you're tired. Like, yo, I can find another guest. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm here. And then when I took that nap, I was like, man, Joe, I should have told him. Nah, but I'm good, man. I'm good, and I'm happy to be here, man.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll wake you up as this goes along.
It will. Shouts out to the Swaggy Blurred. I see Winston in the chat was like, tell Jay, hope that nap helped. It made it worse. Made me more exhausted. You ever taken a nap that your body knows it needs it?
Yeah, so it's called sleep every night. And then when I wake up, and you and I both know this, sometimes we wake up exhausted. And that's the worst part of it all.
Yes.
When you wake up exhausted. I do want to give some quick love to people who have signed up for the YouTube channel here over the last 24 hours. Carlos Orlando, Jack Ripper, Natalie Drake, Bison for Life, and Dom Monjaras all joined here on the Outlaw Nation channel. If you're watching us for the first time, please subscribe down below. And of course, follow both Jay and I on our social media, which you can see right there on the graphic on the channel right now. We're getting people in already. 40 of you all already joining us live. Keep coming in here. Want to get those likes and those love and comments later on. For those of you who are watching after it's live, please leave your comments down below. The more comments we get on an episode, the more it elevates for the algorithm of YouTube, this channel and this particular show and this particular episode as well. Jay, all right, let's get into it, brother, man. Yes. Let's deal with what's going on with you right now. So much has been happening over the last week, 2 weeks. As the Black Lives Matter movement becomes stronger and stronger and more people are marching all over the world, people are turning to you, they're turning to Winston, they're turning to so many of black, female, and male pundits to get them to come on their shows or get them to talk about what's happening. This has been great for you to have a spotlight on what has been happening for decades in this country. But you must be exhausted with how much is being asked of you right now.
I can't even lie. I am mentally and emotionally exhausted, which is taking its toll and become physically exhausted. But I've said this before, and I'll continue to say this. I never thought I'd ever be an individual with a platform to speak. Like, I always wanted to be successful in my careers, like whether it be pro wrestling, stand up, acting. I wanted to be super successful and do what I got to do. But I never thought I'd have a platform where I'd have to speak on something to my people on such a level, on such a scale. And I'm honored, quite honestly. You know, I'm honored to be able to say, for people to say, hey, you know how to dictate and say what needs to be said and say it in a way that needs to be said. And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, he speaks well, which we think is an insult, but it's just that I can, because people are like, oh, you speak so well. I can articulate things properly no matter what.
He's so eloquent.
He's so eloquent. Like, I tell people all the time, like, don't get it twisted of what you might hear as just real me all the way through. And so it's been a great thing being able to go on every channel I've been asked to be upon, continually speak and have these discussions, because I've learned that I've educated and enlightened a lot of people, which is something I never thought I would do. I mean, I knew always there was going to be pushback from it, because, you know, there's just one of these things that it's really weird that it's been a meme. Black people are saying stop killing us, and there are people basically going, but like, that's a hard thing. But it is exhausting, because on top of using my platform to speak, on top of using my platform to convey a message, on top of using my platform to not push back on it, to push forward this message and whatnot, I still have my own life I have to do. I still have my stuff I got to do with my YouTube channel if I decide to take it even further. With Blurs in the Hood that I'm definitely proud and serious and built into. With my acting career, I got an audition I have to do after this show is done. You know, with my writing, with my kid, more so my kids. I have to check. I have 2 children, so I have to check on my kids. And so it's so funny with all this. My roommate earlier was she came in my room early today. She was leaving from work, and I was painting. It was yesterday, matter of fact, and I was painting on a picture. And she was like, you've been doing all of these fundraisers and been doing all the speaking out, and that's a great thing. She's like, at some point, you're going to need to do a fundraiser for yourself, because you're as drained as you are. You know, I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back to work to my regular job as a security guard in a nightclub. So it's like, and I told her, I was like, yeah, that may be the case. I may need a fundraiser for me, but I just don't feel like being that dude trying to raise funds for me when there are more people who would need it. I mean, granted, I'm going to eventually need it. I know I'm going to need it, because, again, I'm going to need to go to work. But I know that right now with this situation, the funds go to helping out protesters who are arrested. And we, like I said, even what we did with Blurs, and we helped a coffee shop meet its goal with our donation. You know, so I'm all about doing it consistently and you know, no matter what it takes. But also I'm learning to take time for myself, to be able to relax, re-energize, and recharge myself. I even speak upon my freaking I spoke to my therapist yesterday, and she was like, I know. She was telling me how she knows how taxing this must be on me, and knowing I'm considered a voice. And like I said, I'm grateful for that platform.
Yeah. I mean, I see this happening more and more. Like I said, as it expands, more is being asked of the people who have and this must be such an interesting moment for you, Jay, because how many times have you spoken out about this and found an uninterested audience, or an audience that was like, why do you keep talking about this? Can't you move past this? Can't you move on? What do you think? Was it just this murder that finally once and for all woke people up? Or do you think people have been waiting to talk about this, and finally the floodgates have opened up and it's been okay for everybody to talk about it? Because all of a sudden it's not negative to talk about race. All of a sudden people are, I've lost some subscribers, but on Twitter, usually I would have found angry responses. I find people chiming in who want to talk about this. I find people following me because I'm talking more about it. Do you find this as well? What a weird change of pace now all of a sudden.
I think what the catalyst was, honestly, and I keep telling everybody, the pandemic was the best thing ever to happen to the world.
Right, and you don't mean in the fact that these people have died. You mean as an indirect result.
As an indirect result,
has kind of allowed this to happen. Yeah,
because it shut everything down.
Right,
and now everybody to extent has no choice but to just sit and watch and listen. Yeah. It's been happening consistently, but the problem is we're such a go society. Right. You hear about it, and the next moment it's gone. You hear about it another moment, and the next moment it's gone. Well, these kept happening right in front of your faces. While people kept trying to watch TikTok videos in the middle of their TikTok dances, was another video of somebody being murdered by the police, was another incident of all this racism happening. And it wasn't anything like, oh, these are clips from 50 years ago. These are clips from 40 years ago. This is from 2 months ago. This is from yesterday. And so it made a lot of people who used to say that, oh, Black people are just trying to play the race card and play the victim. Black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And it's like, no. We're not saying anybody holding us down. We're just showing you all the bullshit we've been through and consistently have been through, because I also love the most racist of people. Because you got to be a level of racist in your heart when you keep saying, well, what about, slavery was 400 some years ago and my parents didn't do it and my grandparents didn't do it and you weren't a slave and your grandparents, like, you don't know all that hell, because we don't know a lot of our family lineage, most Black people in America. But anyway, when you say that, when people say that, you're like, oh, you thought it was just done at slavery? Right. Oh, you didn't think Jim Crow and segregation was a thing? You didn't know that how people are getting attacked by police, the protesters that are being peaceful. You thought this was new. You didn't know about the protests that used to happen and the dogs were sick on them and the fire hoses. Like, this is nothing new. And so you have people saying that, and you consistently have to keep, pushing it in. And my cousin, I love him to death. He called me this morning. My cousin was like, I see you. I see everything you're doing. Yeah. He called. He was like, I had to check on you. He was like, listen. He's like, there are some people, no matter what you say, no matter how you say it, no matter how many facts you bring up, no matter how many rebukes of their statistics, they will never change their mind. And then sometimes you can't have a dialogue. You just have to have the monologue and be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you can only go so far once you realize somebody isn't listening. Once you realize somebody is just kind of dead set in their ways and what they believe. And the thing is, I've been saying this over and over again over the last few days on the channel, is that people just want you to stop for a second and listen. That's all they're asking for. Listen and then make the change. Because if you listen and you see and you hear, then you get your mind your rational mind kind of takes over and goes, yeah, actually there are a large number of these things happening. I mean, you don't see a lot of white people getting choked out or white people getting their knees, and now you have the lawyer who came on CNN or whatever, with Cuomo yesterday. One of the policeman's lawyers who are defending him said, well, we're not sure if the knee actually was on the neck. Like, that's the level to the bullshit that you're dealing with, rather than these guys having some balls in their pants and going, you know what, we fucking did it. We were careless. And we've sparked this kind of reaction. We're sorry. What's the punishment? I throw myself on the mercy of court. Instead of being men of principle, men of integrity, and understanding that all four of them fucked this up. They integrity. I mean,
I don't understand that. And the thing is, there's two phrases that go with this. America is so racist that protest in America, people think it's protest in America. Protesting racism, excuse me.
Protesting racism,
protesting America.
Right.
So it is so ingrained in this country. Racism is so embedded that people think automatically when you're saying stop the racism, we could even go for as far as to take Black people out of it. When we brought up the Latin community, Hispanic, the Latinx community, when we bring up the Asians, any other community, it's so ingrained in this culture. It's automatically you're protesting America. Right. And then when it comes to them having the integrity, them having the gall, them having the balls to stand up for themselves, they always like to go into this whole thing of it's a few bad cops. Yeah, it's a few bad apples. But I'm sorry, in a force where people's lives are dependent upon them, the last thing you need is a few bad cops. You can't have a few bad doctors. You can't have few bad pilots. So why are we allowed to have a few bad cops? And when you tell people that, they're like, oh my God, you just want to kill the police. And they're like, no, look, you fucking idiot. I got family members that are cops that I know were out there protesting in Chicago, were out there guarding the protesters and trying their best to protect them. But because they wear that badge, that a lot of people look at them negatively. And I know there are a lot of bullshit cops. I've had my experience with bullshit cops. I think that Blue Lives Matter thing is some bullshit. Why? Because blue is not a color you're born unless you're a Smurf or an Avatar. Blue is a choice, or a Navi. Blue is a choice. And yes, it is a very dangerous field, but at the end of the day, it's a choice. I didn't wake up choosing to be Black. I didn't wake up choosing this. I didn't wake up because here's the thing. I love being Black. I'm Black and proud. My Black is beautiful. My melanin is popping. But honestly, If I said I could wake up and when I had a choice to be born, oh, okay, you're gonna be born with the skin, but the skin is gonna cause you a whole life of oppression just because of it. You're gonna be looked at and judged solely on your skin color. Yeah. Solely on it. And then people are going to try to, because they do that, they're going to try to go back and bring one of the quote unquote most peaceful activists in the world who was killed because he was speaking out against the racism in this country. Right. You sure you want to go with that? And people don't think about that.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true. You know, and that's the thing that's what I really am excited about as I go on social media is so much information is being put out there finally, once and for all, statistics, cases. And we see today what's happening in Georgia, this idea of which is essentially voter fraud, what that Kemp guy is doing down there, trying to stop prominently Democratic precincts from voting, making them stand in hours-long lines, shutting down polling places, claiming the machines aren't working correctly. All of that is what's leading to a lot of anger from one side of the political aisle, and the other side looks to be scared and stumbling and relying on old dictator tactics or Gestapo tactics to save their lives or save their political lives, because people have said enough is enough. There was finally enough that people were just stopped and were like, we don't want this anymore.
Bro, we're 13. African Americans are 13% of the population in the United States of America. And I understand that is not a big number at all, especially when you're talking about 340 plus million people. I get it. I absolutely do. Yeah. However, African American contributions throughout this country's history are very, very expansive. If you don't believe me, try driving on the street without a traffic light. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so this country is so embedded in a level of white supremacy. It's not even just racism, that because there's a pushback, those who are the majority in this country feel like a very, very small minority is going to overtake them. And that would never be the case. Right. If white people who are racist like this and who are pushing this white supremacy, even some black people who push this white supremacy, if they should really be lucky and thank their lucky stars that black people only want equality and not revenge, because you've never once heard black people say, yeah, we want to go ahead and hunt all these white people down, just put them all in the street, whips them, chains them, let the dog. No, it's all been, we want equality, and everybody hears that word, and then everybody gotta go throw everything else in the midst of it. They're like, yo, you just can't accept that one thing, that a one race is saying we want to be treated equal. You can't get that, huh? It's that hard to absorb.
Yeah, well, because I think that is it's ingrained in the American culture at times to not admit that you're wrong. It's weakness if you backtrack or admit you're wrong or step back. And the truth is, it actually takes a lot of strength to admit that you're wrong, make the adjustments, and we are better as a country because, like I've said before, we make the adjustments. And then we move forward, and that's usually how, women wanted the right to vote in the suffragette movement. They got the right to vote,
which is crazy. We had to make an amendment for that and black people the right to vote.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then you come forward and you go, okay, well, the Emancipation Proclamation. Then you come forward and you got, civil rights movement, the Civil Rights Act. And you move forward and you got gay marriage, Me Too. Like once enough is enough, America reacts and we make the changes and move forward.
But it's weird.
But the black problem, and I don't say problem, but the way the country has dealt with black people since they brought black people over here as slaves has been a decades-long issue. Let's go generational.
Sure. Let's go generational because, again, all the things you just mentioned.
2 centuries. Yeah.
All the things you've just mentioned should not one have had to been a fight. It should have been natural. If for all these red-blooded, die-hard Constitution, Declaration of Independence followers, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Right.
You never wrote all white men. You didn't write black men. You didn't write women. All men, because again, when you look at all men, you say all men, and it encompasses men and women.
Yeah, mankind. Yeah,
mankind. Congress couldn't even. This is how much bullshit people don't understand things are. Excuse me. Congress could not even pass the Senate and Congress could not even pass an anti-lynching bill.
Yeah,
do you understand how fucked up that's got to be that is not got to be? It is that there's pushback on saying, hey, lynching is a bad thing.
Right.
And they're like, well, we don't know.
Yeah, Rand Paul being the one that stopped it from happening. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a dangerous sign. But again, that's that feeling of like, well, we don't have to deal with it right now. We don't 100% have to cater to it. And that's that privilege thing. And then they get upset when black people get mad or lash out. I mean, white people are flipping out about wearing a mask. They stormed a Capitol.
Let's go to
guns
that.
pulled, with rifles
Let's go
pulled
to that.
over a mask.
That's the level of privilege that people don't want, that these people don't even want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
These are the same people who had people with armed assault rifles pushing and shoving police, and the police were just like, well, buddy, you're just expressing your Fourth Amendment right. You're good. Do what you got to do. The same thing happens, except these protesters have been peaceful in the streets, have not done a thing, and you got video after video after video of live events, not even just clips, live moments of police attacking and brutalizing protesters. Now, what's the difference? You had these same group of people go back to those with the assault rifles. You were bitching, crying, and complaining because you could not go get your hair cut or play golf, right? You literally said, these people literally said, well, if we got to sacrifice grandmamas, the old and the sick, then do it. But now you turn around and want to say all lives matter. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Fair point, Jay. We'll jump into some Streamlabs and Super Chats. Guys and ladies, we've got Super Chats and Streamlabs open. Like I said, want to donate everything we're going to make tonight to a Black Lives Matter Foundation or charity, and would love it if we got to at least 500 by the end of the night total between the Super Chats and the Streamlabs. Would love to get more than that, but like to put little goals out there so we can hit them. Let's jump into a couple of these already. Tasty Waffle, Brennan Marr. Well, good to see you again, Brennan. He donated $20. Said, hello there, Jay and John. Here's to a good cause. Oh, thank you, Brennan. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Alex O'Neill said, I watched the Ava DuVernay documentary 13th the other day on Netflix and recommend it wholeheartedly to anyone who perpetuates the idea that racism/slavery is a historic issue and not a current issue. Yeah, Jay, whatever you feel about Ava DuVernay as a filmmaker, that's an incredible documentary.
The only miss I can really say that Ava had was A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, really, A Wrinkle in Time.
Let's just be honest. That's Ava's only miss. And then people tried to use that to say, well, can't she do blockbuster films? She's still going to do blockbuster films. She's Ava DuVernay. She's fucking phenomenal. 13 shows you how the prison system and slavery go hand in hand. It is a very good documentary. It's also indicative of the times that we're in. That 13th has been around for God knows how long now. Yeah. And now people are just now watching it. I'm glad people are educating themselves. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you could have been done this in the midst of everything else.
Right.
You know, when we told you, the same people who you're following now, the same people who you're now you're sitting there listening to. Yeah. You could have done this beforehand. Yeah. And go ahead, Jay. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, yeah. And it was just like the fact that people now want to do this is like, I get it. And it also, some of it feels like performance allyship. Like you're just doing it because of the moment. I've said it many times and I've been saying it recently. As God is my witness, do not let this be 6 months and done. Because if you're one of those people who were sitting there like, I'm all behind you, I support you, Black Lives Matter all the way, and then 6 months later you're acting brand new like none of this happened, then I'm gonna be even more pissed at you than before.
That's a fair point. You know, it's a lot of people have been saying we can't go back to normal. We have to create a new normal that we can function in that is respectful and understanding of what's gone on before here between the police, some of the police, and black men and women in this country, you know, regardless of age. We've seen 14-year-olds, we've seen older people, we saw people in their 20s and 30s getting all kinds of things happen in the 40s. Like, it doesn't matter the age, all across the board. For years we've seen it in this country. And I think you might be right, Jay. The pandemic made us stop for a second. We were all home, and an 8 minute and 42 seconds, right? 46 seconds. Watching those 8 minutes and 46 seconds, people finally snapped out of it, because I think you're absolutely right. I think if we'd all been working, going on our jobs, 2 jobs a day, whatever it is that we're doing, we'd have been like, oh God, they did it again, damn it, and just kind of got upset about it, heard or felt that no one else was getting upset about it, and then just move forward with their lives. But this finally was enough is enough. And so many people, Jay, have you been surprised by this too? Like, so many people are now coming out who are famous, who are celebrities, or organizations, all of a sudden, and cutting ties, all of a sudden people are caring about this in a stronger way than they ever have before. You and I have been in the business a long time. Your agents, managers, executives, they tell you, don't talk about race. Don't be political. You're going to alienate half your fans. Don't do that. And it's like, well, this is a human issue. This is not a political issue.
Right.
Racism was always a human issue, not a political issue.
I hate when people do that. Like, how is racism a political issue?
Right.
Like, at what point did racism become a liberal versus conservative argument?
Yeah.
How about it's just really a right versus wrong? I never understand why people get that. Oh, it's identity politics. You're literally you made up words to justify why not black people cannot be equal.
Yeah.
You made up a word because identity politics had not ever been used since before probably like 3 to 4 years ago. I never heard that phrase because all of a sudden now I'm hearing it through the roof. But how did asking to be true because I am a black person, because of the color of my skin, the color of my children's skin, my friend's skin, my family's skin, and many others, millions of others, we just asked to be treated equally. At what point that is it so far? If it's so political, must it be a referendum on a ballot that you got to actually vote on it? Which again sounds dumb as fuck, just like saying, oh, we got to vote for women having the right to vote. Why do they have to vote? Why do they have the right not to vote? Why do they have to vote for the right to vote? Why they can't they're just women. They're women just like regular citizens. Oh, we have to vote for black people the right to vote. Why do you have to vote on it? It's shit that should just happen.
Yeah. You think once and for all, we'd finally stop disenfranchising people overall, and hopefully in time we will. And look, this is not a condemnation on this country that I love so well, this country that I served, 8 years for in the Army. This is more a matter of, hey, let's do better. Let's figure this out once and for all. Because I agree with you, Jay. I don't want to be done with this in 6 months. I'd like it to be fixed, hopefully, in systemic racism fixed in in all the places that it exists in 6 months. That's a utopian point of view. But I don't want us to go like, oh, well, it was good and we marched, right? And then people forget, and we already see so many influencers trying to take advantage of this situation, of taking pictures of themselves in certain situations. It's just frustrating to see how much people want to denigrate this incredible moment in history with their stupid approaches to the world. And it's a lot of people are just frustrating.
A lot of people are just doing what's called clout chasing. Like, if it, some people, like I've seen people say, oh, everybody's just trying to raise money, just trying to be in the spotlight. Like, yo, kids think you don't realize people can raise money on their streams all day, every day. Yeah. They don't have to donate it to shit.
Right.
But they do. Right. They're making that choice to. Yeah. They don't have to. But when you get these people that are these influencers going to taking pictures at burned down building sites and amidst the protests solely for likes, it's like, come the fuck on. Like, miss me with that. Like, again, I could sit there and literally, Winston and I could have last week took our town hall. Hey guys, we're raising money. We're gonna speak on all these issues. We're raising money for Black Lives Matter and another organization. We don't know yet. It'll be mentioned. We'll tell you. We're gonna blah blah blah. We raised $3,500, right? That's what we raised.
That's awesome.
Which was a blessing. We raised $3,500. And then we could have been like, all right, so we said we're gonna raise money for it. Here's 300 Black Lives Matter, here's 300 this other thing.
Right,
and we could sell. No, this goes to that. Yeah. Because this isn't about clout. This is about what's right. This is about helping out. This is about the actions speak louder than words. There are so many people that are sitting there like, what can I do? How can I help? There's been ways you've been known. Stop acting brand new. Everybody now wants to help because it's the thing to do. A lot of corporations, I really have a small bone to pick with a lot of these corporations and these different entities that now all of a sudden are coming out with their Black Lives Matter statements because it's like, it feels like a lot of them are like, oh shit, if we don't say something, we're gonna look bad. So it makes me wonder, are you legit with it? Because there were some that were at the forefront of this and said it off jump and spoke to it and held to it. But again, Ben & Jerry's is the wokest ice cream in history.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying? Ben & Jerry's been about this life. But then you get these other companies that do it, and then then there's pushback because remember, Activision and Blizzard and the video game community, before all of their games loaded up last week, they put up Black Lives Matter. And oh my God, the racists lost their mind. Want to see one? I have a video on my channel called Ooh, They Big Mad. I put a video up and talked about dude. And do you know it has over like 50 something dislikes? Because now I don't know if people that just dislike the video because they dislike what dude is talking about and don't understand the concept of likes to dislikes. But more than likely, it's people that's dislike, oh, how you gonna talk about him? Easy, because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Alex O'Neill donated some more here. Said, Jay, what were your thoughts on the symbolic gesture from Democrats the other day when they have been complicit in many of the systemic issues facing African Americans? Interesting choice of words there. What do you think?
It's the Black Democratic Caucus, and it's always weird because, first of all, you wore the kente cloth that a lot of black kids wore in their 8th grade graduations. I was like, okay, y'all finna play Sounds of Blackness, I Believe in the Power next? Like, cause I never ever doubted. You know, y'all play that. It's weird. Like, don't all of a sudden, and I know, you know, like, don't all of a sudden do this because that y'all could have just did the fucking knee.
Yeah,
you didn't need the kente cloth. I think that's the part that got a lot of people. You could have just took the knee for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah,
also,
true.
Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them, Nancy Pelosi needed help to get up.
She can't do no 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Yeah,
them knees ain't meant to do that. Like,
yeah,
I guess I get, but I do understand. Yeah, they've been very complicit. And the problem is too many people are scared of the pushback on Twitter from that orange fuck muppet, and I don't get it. That orange tangerine, that dickhead. I don't understand how people feel when he says in 280 characters or less. But because people be like, oh, his following this, that, and the third. Let me let you all in on a secret when it comes to the orange fuck muppet in his Twitter, because I refuse to call it by name.
Okay.
It has over 80 million followers on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. It can barely get over 115,000 likes on a post. Yeah. You know what that should let you know? He really don't have 80 million followers on Twitter. Mm-hmm. If he had 80 million followers, every single post would have a minimum of 3 million likes. A minimum.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely. Good point, man. We got some Streamlabs and Super Chats rolling in here, brother. Rolling in. We got another. Sean Barreto. Well, thank you, Sean. We're jumping in big again. Sean, you are very, very kind, my man. He said we want change today, so we don't need justice tomorrow. Sean has been, I think that's his slogan now, man. He's been saying it for quite some time. I think it's a powerful slogan. You can't say it enough. He said, thanks, Outlaw and Jay, for doing this. Thank you, Sean, for donating so kindly to this. And so many people are already, I don't want to miss anybody here. Yeah, he goes, yeah, Jay is tired every day. He wakes up, the Bears have drafted another tight end. Ow! Ow! That is a game time reference.
Yes, it is. Oh, Jesus.
Thank you, Corey Scott. He's the best. Right here, Ryan C. says the same people saying all lives matter wanted seniors to sacrifice themselves for the sake of the economy.
Yep,
very, very true, right?
Yeah, just said that. I said that earlier. The same people was like, oh, let grandma and grandpa die. I mean, sometimes they got to die, but all lives matter, though. What is really happening?
Yeah, right. Exactly. What is the exchange here? Blockbuster Mentality also chiming in. I love Blockbuster Mentality as a guest on their show recently. Great stuff, guys. Everyone needs to listen. Like you said, enough is enough. Insane that this is still an issue in 2020. We have to lead by example for our kids. Your pal Ben from Blockbuster Mentality. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate the contribution. And absolutely, you're 1,000% right, my man. Our kids have to live in a better world. That's what we all want to do. As not even as like I'm not even a parent. I won't probably have a kid. What I want is for people to kind of be able to understand the future and give that new future to these generations so they can grow up in a world not believing in any of that stuff. You're never going to erase racism. You're never going to erase judging by color, but you can reduce it to where it's almost irrelevant. And that's what you really want to do. And then ironically, we'll have that world that some people talk about. Well, why just not hire the best person for the job? Yeah. Tell you what, let's get to that equality, and then absolutely we'll hire the best person for the job.
Hold on for a second. I'm looking in the chat, and shouts out to Danielle Romanucci. She says, weirdly enough, I'm kind of attracted to black guys. I'm not sure why. Slide in these DMs. I saw that shit. I didn't give a fuck what John was talking about.
Jay, we're talking about something important now.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I meant to bring that. Okay. But I gotta be. But as a parent, it is very disconcerting because you're like, I want my son who is literally 16 and coming up in this world, seeing everything.
Yeah.
And my son has experienced it because he lives in Indianapolis.
Right.
He's definitely experienced it. But I have a 7-year-old, well, she'll be 7 in September. My daughter, who is the outside world doesn't exist.
Right.
There's only what's in Jalea's world. There's Jalea's tablet, Jalea playing with her mom, Jalea playing with her dad, going to school, playing with her friends. That's all that exists to her. Yeah. And to her friends, because of where she lives, are multicultural.
Yep.
So to her, there is no such thing as racism where people dislike another person because of the color of their skin. She doesn't understand that. And according to her, the way her mother and myself are raising her as two separate parents, she will never know that. Yeah. She will know that people are people. Right. Now, when we have to have that discussion about why people may look at her differently or why people may have treated someone else differently, then we'll have to have that harsh reality talk to her.
Right.
But as of now, again, that's why people say no one is born racist. They're taught.
Yeah. Or they're shown. Right. Yeah. Corey Scott Johnson is Jay. Respect everything you do. Don't stop fighting. We will be your infinity stones to your infinity gauntlet. We all got your back. Let's beat racism like Granddad beat Stink Meners. I don't know what that is.
Granddad beat Stink Mener off the Boondocks, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up on Boons. I'm gonna have to catch up on Boondocks.
Shouts out to Winston, said, Jesus, Jay, this is about the kids and you trying to holler. Hey, bro, Daddy gotta live a life. Daddy gotta live his life.
I don't know, man. I respect it. You gotta get what you can. IMAX says no questions, just donating. Thank you, IMAX. Very, very kind of you, brother.
Great guy.
Thanks so much. Let's see if I've missed anybody. We got a lot of them pouring in now, man. I appreciate it. Please keep donating. Keep sending in your donations and your support. Like I said, we're moving every donation, every Streamlab right to a Black Lives Matter charity or foundation here tonight. Stupid Stars Music says, it's way overdue. It saddens me. From Emmett Till and too many others. I am white, but I ain't with them whites. Should have been changed way long ago. Yeah, that's a great point, Jay. You know, we've seen throughout the course of history here in this country, white people, men and women, have joined the fight, understanding it was wrong. I mean, even people who said, well, slavery, well, you know, it's just the times. No, there were abolitionists back then who knew slavery was wrong. There were people who went down and marched in those marches with Martin Luther King. They knew that it was a wrong thing. They risked their lives. Some of them died. You know, as we saw in Mississippi Burning, by the way, that movie is complete and utter lie. But but that's a good movie that kind of showcases that there were white people who went down to help, to march, to be in those buses, to drive down there, to try to do something to change this world because they knew that's what they needed to do. The fight couldn't just be fought with black soldiers and black male and female soldiers. There had to be white soldiers as well.
Which is something people don't realize when people hear us protest and say Black Lives Matter. I see the idiots who go, oh, well, you just want to kill all white people. No. Yeah. Why would I? Right. I mean, I don't think you notice again. You've seen, like you said, in Mississippi Burning, there is historical proof of white abolitionists, white civil rights activists, those who even during slavery, that's why the North was a separate thing. That's why the North was separate because they were like, this is wrong. So it's never been this whole, oh, we just need to get rid of all white people, because I think that's honestly that's the most dumbest statement anybody could ever make. I've never been under that, oh, you just hate all white people. Really? You sure? I love when people tell me that, when people are like, oh, you're a racist, you hate white people. I'm like, you really might want to look through my history. Like you really might want to see who I am. If you think I hate white people, Jesus Christ, oh my God, how many white friends do you have? Too many. I got more of them than I got black friends. Do you understand how much of a problem that is? Like the niggas I know be like, yo, bro, you on something? I'm like, it's just what I've been around. I was a wrestler for 20 years. Like, but people say these dumb things and not realizing there are people who make up your life. And the people I've been around, regardless of color, have all been accepting people and open individuals. And even when it comes to the professional wrestling industry, there are a lot of people who I thought were open and accepting. Why? Because we were on the roads together. Why? We were doing shows together. Why? Because I trusted you with my life in that ring. We are partners. And now, again, all of this has shown me how you really feel. It's one dude I found out is literally the bane of racism. Like his wrestling name is one of those things you're like, yeah, you should have seen that a while ago. But of course, we didn't want to judge him off his wrestling name and his look. Right. We judged him off the person. And again, during the shows, it's all that way. I'll never forget, we had a match at one of our big shows in Windy City Pro Wrestling. And I was hitting him with my finisher, Death Valley Driver. The whole time he was like, please don't break my neck. Please don't break my neck. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I got you. And gave it to him. Now knowing what I know about him now, I could have just slipped out my right arm. Like, I don't know what happened. But that's just, I mean, but it's not, in all seriousness, I'd never do that because that would blacklist my entire wrestling career. But it's amazing how we've seen so many people we've worked with, John. Yeah. So many people in this internet sphere. Like you see, you're like, oh, so that's how you.
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know how much I have struggled. I've talked to you guys about it off camera. I have struggled so hard to call out a certain thing, and I can't call it out because people say, no, be the bigger person, be the bigger person. But when you look at the hiring practices of a certain thing and you go, why are you posting about Black Lives Matter? Have you bro at your list of employees? Where is your black employee in that list of employees? Full time. Don't give me that other stuff. Full time. It's not there. It's missing. So
there's another thing also with that. That's another thing in this sphere. There's that one and another one. It's like, yo, your idea of diversity is we got one black man, one black woman. Right. Either they're together or mixed, and that's it. And it's like, you do realize when no one's saying your whole staff has to be black. No one's saying your whole staff has to be brown. No one's ever saying that. What we're saying is there are literally more than one at a time you can hire. And here's another problem. I guarantee once we all go back to this whole thing, what it is, there's going to be a bunch of us. I might not be one. You know why? Because they're like, Jay speaks his mind. And I'm like, yo, you might want to have Jay who speaks his mind because Jay has brought in a lot of viewers to speaking his mind and knowing how to keep it on a certain level. Yep. But there's a bunch that are going to be hired solely because of that to say, see, look who we hired instead of saying, damn, we should have been brought them on a while ago.
You can't be in 2020 pretending like you're progressive. And then you look at your staff and it's 14 white writers.
You can't say that.
I don't give a shit if they're gay. I don't care if they're women. It's still white. And that is not correct. And that should never happen. It should be diverse. Diversity is not picking different parts of the same color. Diversity is all across the board.
It irks me so much because we keep, like I said, you see that in certain companies and it's like, everybody's like, oh, well, they're trying. No. You're saving face. And part of you trying to save face, you look even stupid because even though you didn't say something, I saw so many people that was like, so you really gonna do this?
Yeah.
You really gonna post this? And it's like, people know your bullshit. Yeah, people know your track record. And and I don't think people understand it. It catches up to you. And then some people
watching, man.
They're watching, and then people will say, then people will be like, oh, well, people can change in their lives and people can change and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've said this before. One time you might have a mistake. It depends on the severity of the infraction, if we will. But more than one time, that's how you feel. And again, with certain places with their hiring practices, that's how you feel.
Yep. That's how you feel. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great point. Philosopher King says, by the way, screw Laura Ingraham for backing Drew Brees on his statements, but she told LeBron and Katie to shut up and dribble when they called out Trump. Yeah, I mean, that's no surprise. Look, they have a sliding scale of morality over there at Fox News. We all know this. And Ingram she's just a talking head trying to make money. She barely has any sponsors as it is. And so she's just going to keep, plugging that red or dropping that red meat in there for people to devour. But there's not an authentic bone in that person's body. She's just whatever's going to make that money. That's what she's all about. You can't take her seriously because
now you know who's worse than her. Seriously. You know who's worse than her? Tucker Carlson.
Tucker, true. Yeah.
Tucker Carlson is a member of the Klan. You can't convince me otherwise.
Wow.
You can't convince me otherwise. Tucker Carlson is there's a level where people toe the line. Like you had Ann Coulter toe the line. Laura Ingraham toe the line. Sean Hannity, he might be up there. Tucker Carlson is what you call a racist pure and through. Yeah. He is. And again, everybody's like, well, it's Fox News. I'm like, yeah, but I hate the fact that we give it a pass per se.
That's a good point, Jay. Yeah. I mean, we let them just say whatever they want and we never take them to task. And there's never, there occasionally you attack their supporters or not supporters. What kind of say this? They're people who put products on the air.
They're advertisers.
They're advertisers, right? We go after their advertisers, and that has affected some shows in the past, some anchors in the past. But it's at some point, what is the ramifications here for fostering this kind of speech that leads to attacks and division? Like we saw in Seattle, that guy drove his car into a bunch of protesters, then shot a man in the arm who was trying to stop him from driving into a bunch of protesters. And then you find out what he was really being influenced by. So that's the harsh truth about this whole situation is there have to be consequences, like I said, freedom of speech. Yes. Freedom of consequences.
Absolutely. And the thing is behind that, again, you said, like you brought earlier, Laura Ingraham lost her sponsors. Tucker Carlson at a point lost sponsors. But clearly, the sponsors that have stuck on and have literally I'm pretty sure have put more money into it.
Yeah.
Because they know there's a certain place they know where the viewers are coming from. They know that, hey, middle America is where we shine at. It doesn't, people always be like, well, the coast are just super liberal. Like, yo, do you understand what California is made of?
Yeah, right.
Like, yo, I need y'all to rip people who like, oh, it's just all liberal California. Like, hell no. Northern California is Republican as shit.
So is Southern California. Once get past a half an hour out of LA, it becomes
a
really
half hour out. Go to Orange County and see what it really is like. Yeah. And so people, this money funnels in, but at the same time, people will say money and morals, but when that person has no morals, they have no values, it means nothing to them.
Yeah, agreed. 156 Impulse says, is it racist to tell someone to speak English? He follows he follows it up by saying, I'm Latino, I hear it all the time. Yeah, it is racist, brother. And you shouldn't be hearing it all the time. And tell those people to shut the hell up, man. You got a right to speak your language and speak English. And clearly you're just fine with that.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah, please.
I need people to understand America does not have a few things. It does not have an official language. It does not have an official religion.
Okay.
It does not have either one.
Okay.
People will be like, oh, well, the flag says one nation under God. We never said God means Christianity. We never said God means Islam, God means Buddhism, or anything. Yeah. America does not have an official language nor an official religion. And if you really wanted to go, what's the official language of America? Let's talk to all these Native American tribes real quick and figure out what we really want to do.
Yeah, my girlfriend's been saying that since this whole thing started. It's like, hey, does this go down to us as well? I mean, recently, remember that COVID situation? They were trying to, the reservations there. I think it was in South Dakota. They were trying to protect themselves from people coming in with the COVID virus onto the reservation, and the governor there told them to take down those roadblocks. And it's like, you can't even, like, where is the respect factor here in this situation? So if you can protest a governor in Michigan, why can't you protest a governor there in one of your red states telling me you're not going to follow their rules either? It's true. It's very true. By the way, you might need to jump up in these chats. Tavishka trying to sneak on in here said, by the way, I am Native American. Is that dark enough?
Hey, bro.
You better jump.
Hey, bro, you stay away from my future ex-wife, okay?
I love it. Chris Martinez, thank you for everything that you do. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Look, I don't want to be part of the, I want to move on once and for all from this fight. I'd like to be done with it. I've been on this side for quite some time, and it's been what it is. And I'm hoping this is finally that spark that changes things for all of us. Cameron Hainsworth says 2 of the best brothers in the game. Oh, thank you very much.
See. This shit gonna be cut out as a clip. Like, see, they said I'm a brother. I don't know what you.
I got ordained in the to be an honorary Jew today, so I'll take the brother as well. He said, much love and respect to you both. Thank you both for doing this. My anger is finally calming down. That's good for the day. Thanks to you too. Shouts to the Swaggy Blurred hashtag Game Time Frio. What does that mean? Game Time Trio. I think he's trying to say Game Time Trio.
Yeah, I meant to say trio.
That. Yeah. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate that. And glad we can help you smile a little bit and take your mind off the pain and the anger. I totally understand that and respect that, my friend. Let's see. We got, wow. We got some rolling through here. Make sure I can get to everybody. Tavishka says, we as a society have polarized everything to a degree that our first response to a different opinion is defense. It takes a lot for someone to first seek to understand. My first response to a lot of my friends this past week, I am all ears. That's great to hear. That's the way it should be, honestly. Dill Pickles throwing in just $5 and saying, no comment, just throwing in to support, which appreciate it. Thank you, Dill. Michael Nip, America, the land that has never been. Heard that today. Mad respect to you, Jay. Keep the conversation going. Interesting, Jay. The land that has never been. What does that mean? Is that like saying, like, hey, we thought we were this. We present ourselves as this, but we're not actually that. Is that what it's trying to say?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, because America. See, here's the problem. We want America to change its act and accept everybody and do all this, but America has never atoned for its original sin. It's never atoned for its original sin. Yeah, so slavery, I mean, like just coming in the way it came into this country. Let's go back again. The smallpox, with the first Thanksgiving and all that. It's never atoned for its original sin. So it's like when we always keep saying we want America to change, America will not own up to itself for nothing.
Right.
Again, America is so racist that protesting racism, people believe is protesting America.
Right. My Christopher Moreno donated as well. Said school is out of session in the U.S. and these young men and women are ready to exercise their rights. You love to see it. Cheers to Jay and the Outlaw from Texas. Well, thank you, Christopher. Appreciate that. Pretty strong statement from him there. I didn't even think about that, Jay. The kids are out of school as well. They can be out there protesting and doing the things. Listen, it's a young man's game. I see the masses of people and I get anxiety like crazy. I may end up going to one of these protests this weekend, but I'm overwhelmed by seeing the amount of support from all ages that people have shown in this fight.
It has been beautiful. It has been beautiful to see because, again, the youth, the younger generation are the ones who vote, make the rules, make the legislation, make the laws, and they're using their voice early. I'm just hoping because a lot didn't show up in the primaries. I am hoping this turns out in the general election. Everybody that's been on these lines jump their ass in those polls, no matter how long it may be, no matter what the situation may be.
Yeah. Fair point, man. Adam Ward says, from all of my sociology classes and history classes in college, Latinos do have African roots along with indigenous. So, Rocha, you are a brother. LOL. Welcome. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, you did? Oh, so look, I have a former associate. Him and I used to be super close, and he's Puerto Rican.
All right.
And when the Orange Fuck Muppet started running, he was backing him like it was gangbusters. Wow, talking about build a wall, get these Mexicans out, blah, 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 blah. And so I told him, I said, hey, bro, I need you to understand something. Do you understand you a boat stop shot from being a regular nigga? Like, I need you to realize this before you sit there and do that. Like, yo, they look at you just as much as a Mexican as if you were one. No, those people who think like that support dude aren't going to delineate between a Mexican and a Puerto Rican. Like, yo, calm down. But yes, a lot of Latinos have a lot of African roots. Like Afro-Latinos, bro, are so dope. And you just hear.
Yeah, respect that. Let's see. James Robbins says, Jay, thanks for always being awesome, dude. Hope you're doing well. Your Rugrats painting was dope. And John, you seem pretty cool. You're welcome to the cookout. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I got my potato salad. I can make that in the kitchen and bring it. Oh, hell no, Karen. Let's see. I love that Black Panther sketch. Chris Taylor says, Jay, how much for the Macho Man painting? Oh,
hey, Macho Man, I would have to paint him. I don't know. Okay. So people have seen me started painting again, and a lot of people didn't know. They're like, "Yo, you're an artist." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess," and so because it's always been something I've done since I was a kid. Yeah. But here's the thing: I tell people, I let people in on a little secret, and I'm letting the world know right now. Whenever you see me painting heavily or drawing heavily, my depression is kicked in, and when my depression kicks in, I funnel it into art.
That's good.
Instead of just sitting around just being down and depressed, I funnel it, and so that's how you get these pictures and paintings from me. So I would probably draw. I had to draw Macho Man one, but I got another wrestler in mind that I want to do first. So
all right, I'm down. Philosopher King says, in the UK, Black Lives Matter tore down the statue of slaver Edward Colston and rolled it into the river. What did you guys think of this activism? I say good riddance. I think all those statues should be taken down. We see them being taken down now. I mean, in Virginia, they're taking down a Robert E. Lee statue. I'm going to tell you something. I grew up in Virginia. I spent a majority of my life in Virginia. I can't believe that's happening. I never ever thought I'd see the day where they would do anything like that. But, you know, they're not tearing them down and burning them down like to whatever. They are just taking them down and storing them someplace else. So for me, if you're going to take a statue down, destroy it. If you really mean it, destroy it. And I think that's what's important here. I mean the governors. I don't mean, you know, people taking ropes and stuff and taking down a statue. I mean, like, officially, if you're going to take down a statue, take it down and destroy it.
I know people always say, well, we're trying to get rid of history. No, we're not.
No.
Why are we honoring people who were known terrible people?
Right.
I'll just use that as the most basic term. Robert E. Lee, all of those Confederate statues. First of all, why are we honoring losers?
Yeah.
America wants to be this country that wins, and we're winners, right? And we're going to be great in things. Why are we honoring losers? Because that's what all Confederate statues are. You're honoring the losing side. When people fly the Confederate flag, which technically is treason still, which I don't know why people don't get that, you're honoring the losing side. So the people are like, oh, you shouldn't get rid of these things. Blow them bitches up with a handful of M80s.
As long as everybody's safe distance. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Ryan Chandler donated. My God, Ryan, thank you so much. A $50 donation. He said, hey, Rocha and Jay, hashtag Black Lives Matter. I'm listening to the conversation and learning. Also, I just saw a video that's changing my perspective on things. Jay Washington's wrestling reel. You're a badass wrestler, Jay. Appreciate you guys. Keep fighting. Yeah, Jay, you are a professional wrestler. That's for damn sure, son.
Yes,
damn sure.
Man, that's what I tell people. It's a long. When everybody asks me, "What do I do?" You know, because again, in LA, if you live we live in Los Angeles, and so anytime you meet people, the number one thing is, "Oh, so what do you do?" I literally have to tell people, I'm just an average black dude that does dope shit.
Yeah,
because there's too much to run down. And it's not a bad thing. The people like, oh, you can do too many things. You can do so much where you got yourself, you're not mastering any. I'm good at every fucking thing I do. And it's not being egotistical. Right. I'm good at it. I'm good at it. Like I had to get, when I got back in the ring this last year, I had to get that rust off. I had to start taking them bumps again. I had to realize, okay, remember what it feels like to work. I had to remember how to be a worker. I can watch it. I can call a match. I can do all that, but I had to remember in the ring. And you only get that being in the ring. As a stand-up, I'm about to start doing Zoom shows because I need to tell these jokes. I can be on these streams. I need to tell this material because, again, I'm good as a stand-up. Yeah, when it comes to hosting, I can sit there and do these shows and convey messages and make you entertain. Because at the end of the day, as a hosting, you know it, John, it's not about us sitting behind the chair. It's about you watching.
Yeah, absolutely. We create stuff so that you can enjoy watching it. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Damn right. Rad Dad Talk says he donated and said, another great stream, Rocha. Oh, thank you, Rad Dad. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. He said, I feel there is real change coming. Living in the Midwest, I am seeing people who never seem to understand start to be more open and listening. Jay, your kids and my kids are the future, and I have to hope all love. This is something Jay and I went back and forth about with Drew Brees. Like, how authentic are people who change overnight? But I think there's just things that happen within humanity that finally clicks, and they just go, oh, wow, how did I not see this before?
So
whoa.
So if you have people who have told the line, so to speak, of being on the right side, who have like, well, I don't get it. What are you talking about? Some people have been like, I just don't understand. And then they hear and see more, and now they fully understand and it fully resonates with them. Right. Those are the people you're like, cool. But then there's some people that are just like, I don't believe. They're just trying to enslave me. I saw a dude's post who said, I'll be damned if I let Black Lives Matter make me get down on one knee and kneel to them. No one ever said we want you to kneel to us. What are you talking about?
That's purposeful misunderstanding. This is what has been happening in this country.
And that's what I'm saying.
For so many years, man. Purposeful misunderstanding, misconstruing. The same thing with Colin Kaepernick. Look, we talked about it on Game Time, man.
Yes, it is.
It is monumental that the NFL and especially Roger Goodell saying we were wrong. That is a massive, massive step. Now, hiring Colin or bridge, like mending that bridge once and for all with Colin, that is the next step, because I guarantee you Colin is going to call you out every time you're not doing it right, every time you're not, really being authentic in your approach to this. And you got to have the guts and the balls to say, yeah, I want that guy on my team because he's going to make me aware of what I'm not aware of, what I'm not seeing through my own white privilege or my own privilege. I'm not seeing that. And so he's an essential part of the team. And I don't think it's fully going to be fixed until he's part of the team.
Yeah, again, everybody's like, well, it's been 5 years, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, at this point, I don't even need to see Colin play.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
Every team should sign him to a 1-year contract for the minimum.
Yep.
That should be the restitution.
Oh, it's a symbolic thing. That's a great point, Jay.
As a symbolic restitution.
Yeah.
All 32 teams in the National Football League to show you're sorry, to try to say, oh, we fucked up, basically. Every single one of them sign him to a 1-year minimum. Now, that means he doesn't have to play necessarily.
Right.
If you decide to put him on a team and he works out and then he because again, the workout he just recently did showed he can still go.
He can wing that ball.
He can still wing that ball. That's on you to decide. But every team, even if it's a 1-year minimum of $250K, which I think that's the minimum.
Yeah.
At 32 teams, 1 year, say you sorry. And I know they're like, well, we did the payout. We had the settlement when it was the agreement with him and Eric Reed, which technically wasn't shit because that's why Nike broke him off.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way. If you want to show how real you are, do that.
Right. And this once again proves we were right all along. We were right all
the
along.
Whole time.
The whole time. We were right. And this isn't like you all of a sudden had your eyes open, especially someone like Goodell, who's very aware of social issues. It was that you got stubborn, you got arrogant, you thought you were playing with the majority, and you realized, oh, crap, there's only 40 people on my team. There's 2 million on that other team. And you woke up to the truth, and all of a sudden you're making a change. Good on you for making the change, but now make authentic change and get Colin part of the situation. Stupid Stars Music also said, hear about the cops destroying live PD footage in ATX. I did not hear anything about that.
No, I didn't either. I know live PD. So only thing I know about live PD is the TV show. And I know due to this, they pulled live PD off the air.
They did.
Once it just started happening. And just today, they announced that Cops has been canceled, which I was like, ooh, I love it. Because now it's really letting you know shit's real.
Yeah. It's tough to do bad boys when it's the cops who are the bad boys getting arrested for the stuff they're doing. It's tough to turn it around like that. Corey Scott Johnson said, Adam Ward, I got you. Jay, what's your finisher? The tight end sweep? Oh.
Next time you're going to make a tight end joke, Corey Scott Johnson, send it to my Cash App. Cash App me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Cash App me. It's the $, Mr. J Washington. Cash App me them tight end jokes. It actually was a running Death Valley driver.
Yeah, right. Running Death Valley driver. Finish. Don't break my neck. Don't break my neck. DGMC says NFL needs Kaepernick more than Kaepernick needs the NFL. That's very, very true at this point. Yeah, I think absolutely. Kaepernick is very much in the catbird seat right now and has all the leverage and hopefully uses that leverage in a positive way. And hopefully Goodell reaches out to him and puts this to bed once and for all. Chris Martinez says, I just saw the news that the Cops TV show was just canceled, which Jay just mentioned. Our protests and donations are making major changes in the laws and the media already. Yeah, absolutely. There is so much so that you saw today that New York cop, the New York policeman who is from the union there, going batshit insane in front of the mic, saying he didn't want police to be called thugs and these are real human beings. And Jay Washington said it. I saw Winston tweet about it as well. I'm sure a lot of people tweeted about it. I think Adam Hlavac even tweeted about it because there's a video now where they juxtapose his words against all the police brutality that's happening and saying, hey, if you want to respect, you're going to have to show respect to the people you are treating like this. And the irony that they are saying, don't call us thugs, and the media is calling us thugs, when in fact, that's always been the modus operandi for a lot of people who've been on the other side of those police brutality situations, man.
Like I said, Adam, the video that showed them with the violence. Yep. But like I said, close your eyes. If you watch that, if you haven't seen that video, it's on Twitter, it's everywhere. Yeah. Close your eyes when you watch it. When you hear the voice, every time you hear the words cops and police, take those words out. Just picture it's a black person saying it and be like, damn, this is what they've been saying every single day for the longest. We're tired of being vilified in the media. Yeah. We're tired of being portrayed as thugs. It's everything he said is literally what's happening to black people. Yeah. And like, you're going to say, oh, we're tired of being vilified. It's the NY fucking PD. Yeah. Yo, y'all got a reputation, dog.
It's an incredible level of I don't know of any other word, but ignorance is an incredible level of ignorance or unself-awareness.
Tone deaf. No,
tone deaf. Perfect. A tone deaf statement where you're really literally not aware that the words you are saying absolutely applies to black men and women and other people of color who've been on the other end of a billy club or a gun or an abuse situation through decades in this country. So it's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
I mean, it's like, and you listen to it, you're like, wait, because you start hearing lines, you be like, did you really just say?
Right.
Did you really? Oh, really? Are you for real? Like literally, I went into when I watched it, my Booker T from SmackDown came out, was like, he didn't just say that. Tell me he did not just say that. Like, because you couldn't, because it's surreal.
Yeah.
It's like, are you literally saying this? Again, everybody's like, oh, it's just a few bad cops. You're not supposed to have any bad cops. None. Oh, well, that's how you get the job done. Is it really? Are you sure? Because these bad cops, when they think they're getting the job done, people are dying.
And it's not like we're seeing people resisting and swinging at cops and all this kind of jazz unprovoked. You know what I'm saying? Like George Floyd. I don't know. It's just fine. It's mind blowing to me. Chris Taylor says University of Phoenix fight song. Sing it, Jay. Oh, terrible. All right, let's move on from that one. And thank you for that donation, Chris. I appreciate it. Let's see if there's anybody else who sent in some Streamlabs real quick before we jump into some live questions. Tavishka Productions sent in $20 and he said, just a donation. You let me talk enough for just $1. Oh, thanks, Tavishka. I appreciate you donating. It's very kind of you to the cause. Haskell 420. Hi, John and Jay. I've been talking to a lot of friends about everything going on. One's in the All Lives Matter camp. I asked him, a white and black man are bleeding on the ground. Who's the KKK guy / racist person going to help and try to save? The white guy. Okay. Will they help the black person? No. Why? Because black people are less than them. Exactly. Because that person / group thinks they're superior. Black lives aren't equal and their lives don't matter. He said he now gets it and he has started to support Black Lives Matter. I hope he meant it. Well, sometimes the change is local, super local, where it's you making the change with your friends and family. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that's kind of opened up here through this process as well. Jay, have you had to encounter that yourself?
I've had a couple of them. Again, it's been, when you bring up the videos and well, not just the videos, the police deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd is one thing. But when you hit them with the Amy Cooper one too,
oh yeah,
and you let them know, hey, you realize a lot of y'all were just mad about the dog. Like, I'm not condoning what she did with the dog, but do you realize you were just mad about the dog and not about the fact that she literally almost got a dude murdered? And then once we saw the pictures of Christian Cooper, she really almost got him killed.
Yep.
Like, people, I was like, do you not understand? And people are like, what do you mean? How many times have we seen the police just run up? We have video of it, run up, guns drawn. And the moment they see anything that can be perceived as a weapon, even a cell phone, which I don't know how you perceive a cell phone for a gun.
Right.
They shoot. And she knew what she was doing.
It was a hammer the other day. Same thing. Yeah, exactly. It's such a shame. They saw a hammer and boom.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think that's all the Streamlabs and Super Chats so far. Keep them coming, everybody. Please, trying to get to that $500 mark. Want to get some good donation for the Black Lives Matters charities and foundations. All your Streamlabs, all your Super Chats tonight are all going there. Let's bring on some live people. My man Sean Berto has been waiting to come in live. Sean, what's going on, man? Let me switch this so it's a bigger look. There we go. Sean, talk to me. How are you feeling, man? He's a patron of the Outlaw Nation and a producer here on some of the shows we've got coming up. How are you, Sean? How's the conversation going?
It's going pretty good. How's it going, Jay?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
I feel just like how you feel, Jay. I feel tired.
I think people don't understand it. I don't think people really understand. Like, we've always been tired of dealing with this, but I think in the past couple of weeks, it's just weighed so heavy.
Yeah.
Because it's like I have to deal with my emotions, and then you have all these people who are just like waking up from their internal sleep, and then like, oh, this is going on, and then I have to have a conversation with them about like, how do I feel? How do they feel? How do we change? What's the answer? What's the question? Like, it's a lot. I feel like a bartender that has a never-ending line of people like wanting a drink and wanting to talk.
That's a great analogy, dude. It literally feels like that. And again, it's like, I don't think some people understand. It's not like black people don't want to talk about it. We don't want to, we don't want to try to enlighten. But at the end of the day, the onus is not on us. You know what I'm saying? It's not on us to go ahead and start teaching people everything. Like, yo, you got to figure this out yourself. You've been privy to all this. Everything we've been telling you has been available for you. So it's like you get exhausted.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for therapists. Like, again, I know my therapist was like, oh my God, this is my last appointment with him. He got a new therapist starting this month. Like, because not only are we venting about, like you said, our regular issues, our regular emotions, our regular problems, but now we have this.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, go ahead, John.
No, please, Sean, go ahead.
No, I mean, something that you guys were talking about earlier about like some people just not understanding what's going on. I think a lot of the white supremacists in this country are afraid that they have projection issues. Yeah. Because they project onto us what they think we would do to them when we become the majority, which the minorities in this country are eventually going to be in the majority. And they're afraid that, oh my God, when we're the minority, they're going to do all the stuff we did to them onto us, and we're afraid. And I think that's where a lot of it comes from.
I don't know why any of them believe that all of a sudden black people just want to be like, all right, let's restart up plantations. Let's make cotton plants. And saying go ahead and we got the field whites and the house whites. Like,
bring Chad in here. Bring Chad in here.
Chads and Karens, you guys are gonna be nursemaids. Like, we're not doing that. Right. Like, we're not doing that. But that's the assumption that they have. And it's really
I heard from so many people, Jay, when Obama got elected, so many of my friends' white parents who were like, and I was, I think at one of my ex-girlfriend's parents, and she said, like, oh, this just means black people are not, they're just going to be lazy. They're going to think everything's, they're going to want to take control of us. They're going to want to tell us what to do. And what happened over the last 3 years? Everything they said Obama was going to do, they have done through Trump. And it is like mind blowing to me to see that happen. And Sean, you're absolutely right. It was a projection because they knew secretly they wanted to do that, because in their minds, they thought that's how we can control the country and get it back going. This idea of going back to some Norman Rockwell painting that never ever existed, because back then, it's great that Norman Rockwell painting. Look at how black people were living back then and how you were treating them back then. So don't tell me it was a perfect America. It doesn't exist. The good old days never existed. They never existed. Never. And that's a hard thing for people to accept. It's not that this country wasn't great. We've always been great, and we've had the potential to be great. Let
me stop. You want to know the last time this country was great? Was in the 1950s. And do you know who it was only great for? Straight white men. That was it. That was the only group of people this country was great for. It wasn't great for any minorities. It wasn't great for women. And if you were a member of the LGBT community, nobody needed to know that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the only people. It was like, we need to make America great again. Everybody's like, and you tell people, when was America great?
Right.
When?
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a hard thing for people to this idea of American exceptionalism. It's a hard thing for people to let go of that, for sure. All right, Sean, any final question? I got to bring in someone else.
Where are we at the total?
Where are we at right now? Let me do a refresh. Super chat wise, we're at 244. Donation wise on the Streamlabs, we're at 148. So
once y'all hit his 500, y'all can send the rest over to me.
So I'm gonna donate again. I can't say for the entire show, but I just want to say real quick, thank you again, John, for using your platform respectfully and responsibly. And Jay, I know I'm one of the people on Game Time that drops a lot of the tight end jokes. I'm glad that you're being a really good spirit about it, and it's all fun and jokes.
Good. It's all good, bro.
Do you mind if I drop some on you right now?
Did you write them down? What the fuck?
I did. Real quick. So the Bears released a statement. All tight ends drafted.
Nice.
So the Bears have so many tight ends that they're going to move some to defensive tight end.
DTE.
That's right. So some people say they only see color. The Bears only see tight end positions. And this year before the combine, the Bears are going to have their own combine just for tight ends, so they can scout them and then draft them all.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's great.
So what? As a comedian, I give you props on all those. As a Bears fan, kiss my ass.
Go Giants. So I'm gonna donate again, and I'll see you guys another time. But again, thanks, John. Thanks, Jay, for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Sean, for everything you do for the channel, brother, man. Really appreciate it. You're very kind. And for the donations. You are awesome. Let's bring in Wiley.
I'm mad he had him written down. He was like, matter of fact, excuse me for a second.
He's ready to go.
Bears, ain't that a bitch?
Because I'm going to donate, and because I'm going to donate, I'm going to read you the next 20 jokes. But let's bring in Wiley, one of my producers here on the Outlaw Nation. He's going to talk about how you can come in live now and ask questions of me and Jay as we keep going on with this conversation. Wiley, what's up, my man?
What's up? So, guys, it's pretty simple how it goes. Like Rocha said at the beginning of the show, if you are a patron, you get basically an hour to get in the queue. So those people are already in. Those guys get first dibs no matter what. Rocha keeps eye on that. So if you guys, after that mark, which is now, I will be sending out a link for StreamYards, which is the website that Rocha is using. And what happens there is you guys can come on the show. It's simple. If you guys never been on it before, when you sign up, you don't sign up, but when you sign in, it's going to ask you to allow your camera and microphone. It doesn't matter if you have a microphone like all three of us here, but you can just have your phone. I think that's what Sean was using, so don't be afraid of doing that. Definitely don't be afraid to come in and ask a question. And if you guys need any help in chat, just at Wiley Todd in chat, and I'll help you, guide you through so you guys can ask a question. So that is it, Rocha.
Thank you, Wiley. I really appreciate you doing that, man.
You're a damn good dude, Wiley. God damn it. I mean, in fact, he broke it down. He was like, look, you're going to have to let it agree to use the permissions of your camera to get your shit together. Like,
he's pared it down. You know, the first time he did it was a 20-minute speech. Now he's gotten it down to 30 seconds, which I appreciate. Thank you, Wiley. You're the best, man. Respect. He's doing so great. Let's bring in one of my other patrons here, Brennan. What's up, Brennan? You donated earlier. Thank you so much for your donation, my man. You're on with Jay.
Hey, Jay, a big fan.
Thank you, Brennan. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I was wondering, when are the terms Black and African American, in what context should each be used? Because I heard they're not really interchangeable terms.
It's really that's a good question.
Context?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I appreciate it. It's kind of weird with that question because, like, I don't like when people say the blacks. It's just the way it's said. Sounds really disrespectful. But when you say black people, it's like we get it, you know. But people like the blacks, and you're like, oh, don't do that. Or those blacks, you know, it's like that. They're not or even saying those African Americans. It doesn't sound. They're not interchangeable. Like you said, it depends on the context more so. But you know, as long as people ain't just saying those niggas, I'm good. Like, hey,
I can't touch that.
I love John's face. John was like, oh my God, what type of show do I have going on today? Oh Jesus.
And also, do you have any film recommendations that speak to what's going on? Because I know that a lot of people immediately go to, like, you know, some kind of politically incorrect stuff, like, Driving Miss Daisy and The Help. And not that they're bad films. They just do not speak to... They kind of present a sanitized version of it.
Well, I don't even say that. I always say this. That the fact that The Help is trending #1 on Netflix is pathetic.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird.
Slavery and slave theme and oppression movies are not viable watching films for learning how to not be racist. Those are the worst films you can watch. But again, Ava DuVernay's 13th, the Hate You Give, When They See Us, Monsters and Men. There's a bunch of movies.
I just watched Do the Right Thing a couple of weeks ago.
Do the Right Thing, yes.
Which is an excellent movie.
It still holds up to this day. Love and hate.
Very much so. Very much.
So, yeah.
If I love you, then I love you.
Yeah.
If I hate you.
I hate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
great stuff.
So hopefully those are some great recommendations for you, Brennan.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, Brennan.
Thanks, John.
Also set it off as a good one. I'm just joking. Samara.
No, you're not finna. No, fuck you. You're not finna just go and bring it, set it off, and be like, no, and set it off is a good movie. So let's go to the next one. At what part? Cleo just coming out the car.
It's the best En Vogue song in that movie, in my opinion.
Yo, that soundtrack in itself is
dope.
soundtrack.
You're right. The soundtrack is
the
good.
soundtrack is.
People need to give love. That and the Dead President soundtrack. Fantastic.
That's what I miss. That's what I miss about movies.
Oh yeah.
If we can switch real quick.
Yeah, switch. Yeah.
Dog, I miss movies that had the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah,
Those movies had so many. So the soundtracks were just as important as the film. Like, I know when we talk about stuff, people who are cinephiles, we're like, my God, did you hear the score and that? And it's like, no. You don't get it. Them soundtracks were they were characters in the movie.
That's where it was at, man. Yeah.
Oh, the Boomerang soundtrack.
Oh,
bro,
please.
Bro,
Dawn, Tony Braxton.
Tony, I was just saying, I will give you my, oh man, Love Should Have Brought You Home last night.
Right.
That, the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, all these soundtrack, Juice's soundtrack, New Jack City soundtrack, Above the Rim. Like, yo.
Juice was a good soundtrack, man. That Naughty by Nature song on Juice. That's been on my workout mix for decades since that film came out. That's been on my workout mix. It's such a great song, man.
Dude. Yeah. So dope.
There used to be. Samaritas 5 says, yo, Jay, you're going to sell your arts, you multi-talented, tight ends, loving, salad eating son of a gun. Take my money.
I don't, you know what? I'm trying to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put, I think there's stuff where you can make your stuff up for auction or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm going to I have like 8 paintings that I've done and that are just sitting around in my room. Literally, they're just sitting around. They haven't been anything. I'm going to put them up for auction. I'm going to look at it after I get off the stream and I do my workout. We'll put them up for auction and some of the proceeds will go to charity. But some of the other charity and the proceeds are me. So, yeah, I mean, I want to sell them, but I feel like, people have been making art and everything. And I'm like, all right, I guess if y'all love my depression art, let's go.
Yeah. Let's do it. Travis Earl says, just donating. Big fan of both of you. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Let's see if we got more. We got a couple more to roll through here. DGMC says, what's worse, old as Rocha jokes or Jay tight end joke? I think the old as Rocha, those are done now. Like, it's just kind of they're not inventive anymore. They were funny initially, but then they've just gotten lame now. The attempts have gotten worse. Fourth round has gotten worse too, but the tight end jokes are still topical for a little bit, I think, and then eventually
you motherfucker.
The time will come when those will become a little too old as well. Sean, the Stream King Barito, Adam Ward giving Sean some love. Oh, man, and you can see why. Sean, thank you so much. Another $100 there from Sean Barito. All the tight ends. Thanks again, guys.
I feel like this really was an ode to Rocha and a shot at me at all the records, all the belts. And that was a good one.
See you, Sean. We see you. Thank you so much, Sean. It was great seeing you in here as well. Fun fact, Rocha is the world's first ever tight end. Well, see, now that's a good one. That's a good. You mixed them both. DGMC. Respect. I like that. That's the way to go. I did like playing tight end. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. DJ Juice with Tupac and Omar Epps don't get enough love. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, dude, Tupac in that movie is chilling. He is so scary, man.
It should have been that performance in itself, like that goes outside of the rapper persona that we saw.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level when he took on being Bishop. It's a whole nother level. I don't think people understand that.
Yeah. When when Omar Epps closes that locker door and you see Tupac there, you're just like, oh. It's worse than Halloween, man. Seeing Michael Myers around the corner, man. It's scary as hell.
Man, listen.
150. Jay, question: where can I find that meow video? What's the meow video?
Oh, bro, we got a video that we play on Blurs weekly. Yeah, it's a video of a cat funeral, and it's an actual cat funeral, but it's a black cat funeral, and it's not like it's a black cat, but it's black people having a funeral for the cat, and it's a dude on the keyboards going meow. Oh Lord Jesus. Meow. It is beautiful. It's the most beautiful shit ever. I'll send it to you.
Oh, please send it to me. I got to see this. All right, let's bring in some people who are waiting to chat with us. Jay, Calvin's rolling up. Calvin, what are you doing? Oh my God. Calvin, when you're done fighting with people, you can come on the stream. What was that? Calvin? Calvin, what was that? Calvin, what are you doing, Calvin?
I'm on right now. Hey,
you are right now, Calvin.
I didn't know I was on. I got into an argument. I got to an argument with my daughter.
Was he on this?
That's the greatest shit ever. That was the most real shit ever.
Right here.
Kevin's always real. He's 24/7 real.
What up, Jay? I love you, Jay, by the way.
Appreciate it.
I wanted my daughter to try to come and say something about the Black Lives stuff.
Yeah.
But she's too shy to do
She's like, don't you put me on this camera, Daddy. What is wrong with you? I don't know these people. Put me out here in the internet. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly, Jay. Yes, you almost hit a carbon copy of what she just said. But yeah, but I wanted to get a youth perspective on everything that's going on.
What's her name?
Her name's Jasmine.
Baby
It's
Jasmine.
a play off my name.
Jasmine, have you?
Jasmine.
Jasmine, have you been marching? Have you been out there protesting and stuff? How have you been? How have you seen the reception to what y'all
I ain't
doing?
been out there.
Oh, you guys. All right.
Oh,
So-
what'd you do? Come here and tell them. Come here and talk about it.
You are the worst parent ever. Come on, girl, come get on this
She's been out
camera.
there.
Get on this camera and talk to them
She's
people.
been out there, but she don't want to talk about it.
All right. What you
She's
got? You
too
got
shy to get on the internet.
you got a comment or a question, Calvin, or before we move on?
Oh, looks like we lost Jay.
All right. I don't know what's happening. I love.
I'm
Calvin.
still here. Like,
Calvin is Calvin is the meta show within. He's the show within the show. Calvin is like the pop along show. All right, let's bring on Tavishko. What's
Whoa.
up, man?
Oh my God! Hey, put Calvin back on. Put Calvin back on, man.
I promise we will. He's still
Oh my
hanging out
God.
there, so I promise we will. What's up,
Yeah.
man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, thank y'all. Hey, Jay, love you, man. Thank you for taking the time to do
Appreciate
this. I know you're tired.
Appreciate
Rocha, you as well for kind of opening up this platform.
Absolutely,
And
man. Thank you.
and especially donating everything because I mean I know you're broke. So just kidding.
Listen to that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm broke after this week, but it's for a good cause. It's for
Fair
a good
enough.
cause. Yeah, man. So a couple things I kind of already forgot some of them, but so I'm in Southeast Oklahoma, and I'm in an advantageous position to with the Main Street program with the Idaho Chamber, which is the city, to actually like help kind of facilitate events. And so we actually had an event called Dogwood Days this last Saturday. And at 5 o'clock, we had a crawfish boil. And then they actually, another group of organizers had actually organized a peaceful rally. And there's already like a little bit of conflict between East and West Side. But we actually finally have a black mayor. It's crazy. It's 2019. We had our first black mayor.
Or 2020, yeah.
Well 2019.
Oh, we got
was when he
voted
was
in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean, it's just one of those things where, hey, we wish we would have been here sooner, but we're here now.
Right.
And being Native American and actually working for my tribe, that seal gets me into a lot of rooms because we have a lot of clout, a lot of respect as a nation because we have a lot of casinos and money.
Right.
But also me being a little bit lighter skinned, people listen to me a little bit more. And so talking with the mayor, man, I mean, it's been really good. But he was saying that, they listen to me maybe sometimes more than they would him just because he's black. And it actually absolutely breaks your heart.
Wow.
But at the same time, it's like, you know what? God's got me in this position and I'm going to do what I can with it. And we had a peaceful rally. We were able to get drone footage and we're going to put, some promotion videos together. But, it's one of those things where we feel like this is, it's a nation movement, but we're focused on the county. We're focused on what we can do for our county so we can kind of speak to that because we may have only been like one of the few, if not the only city in America to have a festival, a 2-day festival and a rally because we just haven't got hit with COVID. But so anyways, so with that, being Native American, actually, in response to one of the questions before, one of the statements, America was great back in the 1600s. Just saying. It was peaceful. We had weed everywhere.
We go way back then. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We grew weed. We ate salmon. It was chill. But I mean, so right now the focus is with the Black Lives Matters movement, and that's where we understand that. And it's like, let's do that. Let's push it because for one, Native Americans don't have money. The tribes have money, but the people don't.
Right.
And there's a lot of African Americans, Black, whatever the PC term is nowadays, but there's a lot of influential individuals that have money, multimillionaires, sports, music, TV, everything of that nature that have that voice. And so it's like, all right, jump on the bandwagon, help push that cart, and then later on, then we can come and pick up the different groups. Yeah. And really, like, and it's not just like separating like that, but the movement is the whole thing. So that not only does this help our cause with Standing Rock, with some of the things that are in the Supreme Court, but it actually helps like the whole thing. And then if there's something left with the Native Americans, then we can focus on that, and we as a tribe can address it. We as people here locally can. But yeah, I just kind of want to get that 1600 joke in. But hey, I appreciate you guys for everything you do. I guess one question, man, like what? Jay, every time you're always singing, man. I love that. What's a song that whenever you're maybe painting, or what's a song that kind of gets you kind of out of that funk, or maybe into that kind of rhythm of expressing yourself art wise?
It's an emotional ass song, I'll admit. It's Neo's "Do You." It's talking about him meeting his ex, and he just wanted to ask, "Do you ever still think about me?" And I hear it, and I think about me and my daughter's mother since we split up, but it makes me focus into the painting. And so I'll find myself just singing, just going and drawing and sketching. And so, I mean, that's just one, honestly. There's so many songs. My playlist for even when I work out is the most obscure workout playlist ever. Like, and people be like, wait, what is that? Wait, what? How did you go from that to that? Like, it's one of those things. So I'm always been musically eclectic. Always. And I've always loved a great range of music. So it's like anything that just, I might not be able to be a great singer, but it's just something about it that can touch my heart and my soul.
Good, man. Yeah, as a drummer, I appreciate that eclecticness, man. I really do.
There you go.
Well, you're good. Yeah, thank you guys very much for your time.
Thanks for everything you're doing, man. And thanks so much for coming in live to talk to us, man. Can't appreciate it enough. Yeah, thank you. Tavishka there, pretty awesome dude, man. Sending a nice little donation earlier.
Very, very good.
This is the song that DGMC thinks you're singing, Tight End Wide Receiver by the Punk Group. There you go. It's a bit unfair to you, I think. All right, let's move on. Who else we got? Darren Wright. What's up, Darren? How you doing, man?
Hello. How are we doing?
Good,
How's it
good.
going?
What's going on your
I'm
end?
good, thank you. I apologize. I couldn't watch Sports Time this week. I fell asleep, being from the UK, and it's on very early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I wondered if I could ask a couple of quick sports questions.
Yeah, sure. Let's have some fun.
Well, I've been dying to ask your opinions for weeks on the Bengals season coming up, how well or badly you think they'll do.
Wow, good question. It depends. I mean, Joe Burrow's coming in, and Joe Burrow thankfully did not send any elite white people text, so he's going to be fine leading his team. AJ Green's coming off that injury. What condition is he going to be in? We've got a second-year coach coming in, seeing to put in his offense with Joe Burrow. So this could be a kind of a situation where they're figuring each other out. Maybe they go 8-8 as they do so, or maybe Joe Burrow, who has a force of will that we have not seen in quite some time from a quarterback coming out of college, will like just drag this team kicking and screaming into a wild card position.
Let's not do that.
All right. I'm just saying, there's possibilities. Go ahead.
Let's not do that.
All right.
I think the North's a division that could all go 8-8 this season.
It's true. It's true.
You know,
no one wants to win it.
No, I think they can do something. I say 8-8 is at best because give me 2 years with Burrow.
Okay.
Then we'll see because that's when we'll know he has that full gel and that confidence and that belief in the team, and the team has that belief in him. Right. Now, I think
he's got a better unit than Dalton has had in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
this is true. That's definitely true. That's very true. That is very true.
Yeah, free agency was very good, so I'm positive. But like I say, until we lose AJ first game, and
right,
we're good.
Yeah, that's
going to happen.
Because it's the truth. It's like preseason, he healthy. It's the first game of the regular season. AJ Green, 80 yards, boom. Oh my God, he's down. And then you're like, oh, well, I go to season.
If in doubt, we'll just sign 7 of the tight ends from the Bears and we'll be okay. We can just run this kind of play.
You walked right
into that. There. And my second question, being a Manchester United fan, it pains me to think that football is coming back in England. How excited are you for Liverpool to finally be crowned Premier League champions?
That's my heart right there. That's my heart right there. The crest. That is my heart always and first and foremost. I'm excited, but I gotta be honest with you, Darren. It's not going to feel as emotional as it would have been if we were rolling through the season and it finally happened. I think a lot of us, like, I was ready to, like, I told my girlfriend already, because she's become a Liverpool fan over the last 2 years, and we went to see them in Anfield last year, which was incredible. But like, I already told her, like, I'm going to be an emotional mess when it finally happens, because I followed this team for 20 years now, seeing how many times we've come close, how many times we've faltered at the finish line. The Stevie G slip will forever haunt my dreams. Even if we win the title, it will forever haunt my dreams of all the people to slip in that moment. Captain Fantastic, heartbreaking. And so for me, I think it'll be great to win it, but there's so many other things going on in the world. I don't think it'll have the weight that we were hoping it would have, or the effect, and so, and we'll see. I mean, it'll be nice. And if Arsenal does us a solid and beats Man City, so we only have to beat Everton in the first game back to win the title, I think that would be nice. But if it drags out, I don't think it'll have the same feeling,
That's a possibility, isn't there? With all the teams being off for so long, you don't know. You've got teams at the bottom of the league that could just surprise. Liverpool could lose a couple of games and still throw it away. So you never know.
It's not like we were playing well going into that forced break, Darren, and we'd lost that game to Watford. We'd lost to Atletico, so we weren't playing well. We were stumbling towards the end of the season, that's for sure. So we'll see. But you guys are looking okay. Like you're figuring things out. It seems like a solid situation going on right now.
We're getting there, but when you've had a manager that's been there 20 odd years, that's been so successful, you were bound to have a dip for 5 or 6 years. It's a very weird comparison. 90s Liverpool, 80s Liverpool was 90s Man United.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of reversed.
Yeah.
And now we're having the dip and you're trying to win the league.
At least once. Let us have just one. But I'm scared about players coming back there, and we'll see what happens. I mean, the German Bundesliga seems to be doing all right, and no one seems to have caught anything from the play. And I've actually been enjoying the games without fans in the stand, because they've been pumping music out or noise through the stadium. So I don't think that's a negative. There you go.
The odd thing is the players forget that they can't celebrate, and then they start to hug, and then you're like, the referee books the players for hugging after they score goals, which is one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Do not hug your teammate. Yellow card.
6 feet apart. All right, Darren. Thanks so much.
Lovely.
For chiming in.
Thank you very much for chatting.
Good seeing you, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Always love that little UK.
I have no idea about the watch. So how I sat over here just being professional was like, I just had to open my door in my room because I realized I was blocking my internet signal.
Oh, no.
So I was like, let me open the door and they continue to talk about footy because I have no fucking clue.
Look, guys, we are about, I think, a $50 short or $60 short of crossing over that $500 mark. So please, just because we're going to bring in people in, don't forget to send in your Super Chat stream. I would love to get us over the 500 mark so we can officially say we made that much to send into a charity. What's up, Corey Scott Johnson? Got them tight end jokes ready to go, Jay, as well, I think.
Here we go with the bullshit.
He's got the Malcolm X hats behind him, too. I respect that.
No, I just wanted to come in and show Jay my face. Like, man, hey, respect everything you do. Watch all your shows, the Mad Time podcast. You always go get the tight end jokes from me here in Chicago.
Hey, you from the crib. You from the crib, so it's good. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. I got. I'm telling you, when we was out there marching, I could have swore I saw a couple tight ends out there, man. They was blocking for us, man. You made me mad. You didn't tell us you was coming in town because we would have rounded up all the tight ends for you, man.
Bro, I came into town I called myself getting away from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I wanted a break from everything. I was like, I can go home, take a breath, and chill. I go home and shit got real. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, it did. Hey, look how real it is. I got this headband on because if I take it off, this hair goes like Afro Samurai. I ain't got to cut in 3 months.
I like that.
Bro, I understand.
I just want to come in and show y'all some respect, man. Hey, you can always get a donation from me on all your shows, even though, a brother out here broke, but hey, good money,
man,
that's good place.
It's very kind of you, Corey.
Seriously.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Corey. You keep them tight end jokes coming, too. You keep them coming.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I might send another one later tonight.
As Corey Scott Johnson, very kind, sending in some donations tonight. He's an incredibly awesome dude. All right, Corey Richmond, what's up, man? Oh, he's got a Brown. What are we covering Ohio tonight? We got Bengals out of the UK. We got the Browns here with Corey Richmond. What do you got, Brown? What do you got, Corey?
Hey, John and Jay.
Corey, what's good?
Hey, buddy. First wanted to say, Blurs in the Hood last week town hall was very emotional to say the least, and mostly the best hour and a half or more of enlightening conversation that I've heard on the internet in the last, week and a half. And for me and my podcast partner, Jay, was very touching and, heartfelt. And one thing that came out of this, and I want to make sure I say this the right way, and Jay, I want to truly get your opinion on this. It's something that I don't know if it was you or Winston brought this up. Do you think if Black Lives Matter, I don't know if it was you or Jay said this last week. I'm not you or Winston said this last week. But one of the things, I never realized leading in all this was Black Lives Matter was truly saying Black Lives Matter too. And I think the slogan was Black Lives Matter too. They just added the word to the end of the slogan, or not the slogan, but the phrase. Do you think that, I don't know if white America or just America would have not had all of the craziness of saying Blue Lives Matter, all lives matter, all stuff, that just one word. Not that it should have been needed to say the word too, but if that was added,
no, I get exactly what you're saying. I don't know if it would have changed people. I don't know if it would have changed the way people still look at it, to be honest, because of so much pushback behind it. I don't think people would have changed their perception. I don't.
Because like I said, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, John.
No.
I love your opinion also, because like I said, I was never against Black Lives Matter. I didn't truly understand the whole entire movement as much, because I'll be the first one to say that I wasn't, super against what Kaepernick was doing when it came to the flag. But when it came to initially, I was a little bit, I thought, kneeling with the flag was slightly disrespectful. But as more I learned, I understood what it was. And my views, of course, have changed. But like I said, when you guys were talking about it, I truly opened my eyes exactly what Black Lives Matter and the entire movement was about, when you guys discussed that, and partly. And John, I would love to get, your point.
I just think that's a positive thing, what you're talking about, Corey. And this is what we've been talking about, change. We're trying to show people, hey, just listen. Just listen. Let me show you. Let me just hear me out, or hear us out, or hear the people out in the streets, or people who've been leading these marches and these protests. Look at the evidence that's out there and just listen and see. Because all they're saying is we need to make changes here because too many people are dying this way, and we'd like your help to make it happen. Because like I said earlier, ain't nothing happen in this country that changes things without white people being involved in it, along with black people. That's always been the way any progressive stuff has happened in this world, in this country rather, has always been arm in arm, marching arm. Was the Civil Rights Act, all of that, Emancipation Proclamation. It's a white man putting that out there, releasing the slaves. It's always been this way. And so here we need people like you who are maybe initially resistant, maybe didn't like it, maybe were bothered even by it or upset about it, to take that moment and go, okay, wait a minute, this is too far, this is too much. How can I change it? Because then you will change other people. Like other people come in contact with you, and you can school them or have conversations with them that hopefully open their eyes, or even crack the door just a little bit for an eventual change of mind.
And just quickly, and Jay knows this. I do a wrestling podcast, which Jay has been on.
Right on.
Do you think unless John Oliver or someone in the mass media picks up on it, do you think the former gunner of TNA,
Jackson Ryder,
Ryder's comics are just going to be forgotten about in like 3 days, and he's not going to get fired? Or do you think anything's going to happen as a result? I mean, we brought this up on our podcast a couple of days ago, but we don't. Do you think anything's going to happen, or it's just going to be under the rug in like 3 days?
I mean, at the end of the day, his comments were just about supporting the president and pretty much all that. So
the Black Lives Matter one, like from last year,
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
Slaves and
Oh, I didn't see that one. I just heard about the one he did recently that everybody was on his ass about.
Yeah.
Now I didn't know about the one in the past. Here's the problem. I don't think Vince will, because he hasn't fired others.
Yep.
He hasn't fired others. And I'm gonna tell you the most recent shock I've ever had out the WWE in my life when Randall Keith Orton tweeted Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
That was the biggest shock I've ever seen in my life, because as God is my witness, he is the last person on this earth I thought would ever do it. And I say that because Randy has said a lot of shit in the past.
Yeah.
A lot. Randy has done a lot. There have been a lot of others who've been vocal. If Braun Strowman is cool, Universal Champion or not, granted, like, yeah, you like people like that's the Universal Champion, but Jackson Ryder, you know, I don't think, long story short, Vince ain't doing shit.
Yeah, and firing him isn't really a statement.
It's not a statement
because he's not that big of a wrestler. He's just not.
It's not. He's a member of the Forgotten Sons. I understand what the group is, but listen to the stable name, the Forgotten Sons. No one would care.
Right. If this is like Triple H or Shawn Michaels, then that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, it has to be a name.
Ryder? Come on.
Yeah, it has to be a name. Yeah. It has to be a big name on either one of the brands. And yes, it can be a top tier name in NXT, like a Gargano, a Ciampa. I'm not saying they would. Hell, Velveteen Dream, we already thought for a moment, we was like, yeah. So you better put him in the main event? What's up?
Right? But good match. I watched it over the weekend. That match with him and Adam Cole, baby, was fantastic.
Well, I got to give I think you got to give the WWE credit for they have to be creative. Yeah, they found themselves being creative throughout all this. Again, remember the fucking Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse. You get this one because it's a different version, because they're trying to do things that are not going to violate as much as they can do it now, violate the social distancing. And they're trying to say, all right, cool, we can spread something out. Yeah. And I mean, I wish they would have actually wrestled. It would have really, for me,
you mean in the ring and stuff?
Yeah, yes, yeah. I would have loved to have seen a full match between the two. Because ever since I watched Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black, I was like, dude can do anything in this ring.
Yes. If he just keep his mouth shut. Yeah.
I think there's a big difference, and I know you guys have other people, but I guess the last two things I would say quickly is I think it's one thing to have these cinematic matches on non-title matches, but if you're going to have a title match, a cinematic match, I think there's no place for it. And I guess the last thing I would say is I give Tony Khan and AEW a ton of credit for the first 20 seconds of their show this past week, having the Black Lives Matter promo vignette or promo, however you want to describe it. I give them a lot of credit. WWE, besides Morrow, maybe making a little bit of in his own way of trying to sneak it in, saying something, but WWE has done basically nothing.
What did you expect?
Besides Limitless, Keith Lee, with his they've done nothing. But Tony Khan has, basically, said, we are proactive and we're doing something. So I give
Corey, what did you expect? Let's be real.
I agree, but
you know what I'm saying? It's like, first of all, we got to remember, who is Vince real good friends with?
Trump, absolutely not.
Yeah. And who did Linda work for?
Right, so at the end, the fact that they couldn't tell Keith no. Yeah. They couldn't tell Keith no. Right. Because they know they already caught backlash from the Jordan Miles shirt. Granted, it didn't go the way it should have. But can you imagine if Keith Lee, the arguably biggest guy that is in name and all since what he's done, goes on social media and says, Triple H and Shawn Michaels said no to my Black Lives Matter gear.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Because you would lose it. Because the New Day would go.
Yeah.
I guarantee New Day would walk. They would threaten to walk. I'm telling you, Street Profits would threaten to walk. Every black wrestler probably would threaten to walk. And matter of fact, let me just not even say black. I guarantee you the Usos go. Because the Usos are niggas. Like, I know Jimmy and Jay. Them some niggas. Like, the Usos will go too.
And don't forget Sasha. Don't forget how many black wrestlers on Pro Wrestlers.
That's what I'm saying.
All they have there. Yeah.
They would go.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
But they don't, like, that's the only way you can get it out.
Right.
Then it sucks. And I understand. I appreciate the hell out of Tony Khan because they're like, yo, we're not going to shy away from this. This is a thing. This is what it is. Well, if you believe Black Lives Matter, can we get some more black wrestlers, especially a big black one, namely an urban gladiator named Jay Washington? I just want to throw that in there. But it's great that they do it. And Cody, and I credit Cody for that. Cody Rhodes for that to heart. Because I don't know if you ever heard the interview he did, and I think it was either before or after we had done the interview with him on Collider Live. Brandy opened his eyes to a lot because Cody's never been racist, and he's always said, "I don't see color." Brandy told him, if you don't see color, you don't see my struggle or understand me.
Right.
And that changed his entire perspective. So, yo, shouts out to that man, to Tony Khan, them.
And shout out to Brandon Rhodes. Absolutely. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate it, man. Always good to talk to you, dude. Take care of yourself.
Keep up the great work, gentlemen.
You too, man. Hope them Browns
And
make
Jay,
the playoffs.
we'll talk.
Yes, sir.
And John, always open invitation. We'll Work Street Wrestling Podcast. I'll send you a message, and hope to have both of you guys on real soon.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down.
Thank you, man. Awesome to see Corey on the feed here. Brother, we got a bunch of big things that have come through. Can you stick around for just a few more minutes?
I'm here with you, bro. All I'm gonna do literally is once this is done is take down this light, move this table, move this computer, put on my yoga socks and my workout gear, and I'm gonna do some either yoga with Adrian. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this prison workout real hard.
Oh my god. Adrian. All right, let me bring our stuff back up here. Where are we at? Where did I put you? Is that it? Yeah, there we go. All right, let's bring up and then run through these. 156 Impulse says, Jay and Rocha, thank you for everything. God bless. Thank you, man. Thank you. And keep fighting the fight and maintain your Latino hood strongly, son. Maintain it and love it, and don't ever apologize for it. It's a strong thing you got, and it will matter. Maybe at this young age, you don't see it, but trust me, it will matter. Hold on to it tight, my man. Hold on to it tight, and don't let anyone take it away from you. Fredtastic 314 says, hey, John and Jay, what is your anthem song? Mine is I Go to Work.
Shouts out to Fred, who's a member of the Supervillain Squad, first and foremost. Mine is Till I Collapse by Eminem. Because there's one part in the song, he says, I made sure I got the lyrics to make sure I said, he said, because I'm at the end of my wits, and here's the half of the shit that gets in. I got a list, and here's my order of my list that it's in. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada Corrupt, Nas, and Vinny. But in this industry, I'm the cause of a lot of envy. So when I'm not put on this list of shit, does not offend me. That's why you see me walking around like nothing's bothering with me, even though half you people got a fucking problem with me. You hate it, but you know respect you got to give me. The press is wet dream like Bobby and Whitney. Nate hit me. For me, it's always been that, because it don't matter what I've done and in what field I'm in, whether I'm in the wrestling field, stand-up, acting, this hosting, I've never been on those lists. I've never been on the list of that dude is the dude you need to be following. I've never been that dude, but I bust my ass and you can never deny it. I've always put my work in hard. I've never half-assed it a day in my fucking life. And if I always walk around like nothing's bothering me sometimes, that's why. That's why it motivates me, because it's like I know no matter what I say, no matter what I do, people are gonna be like, oh well, you know, he ain't this and he ain't that person. I don't give a shit, because I'm not trying to be nobody else. I'm Jay Washington. I'm that dude from the south side of Chicago. I'm the urban gladiator that you know. I'm the resident supervillain. You can go, ho. But that's the thing. I'm me. And so that song always pumps me up, because it makes me realize till I collapse, I'm going to keep putting my work in and day out. I got 2 kids who love and watch what I do. And at the end of the day, as long as they are proud, I'm good.
Yeah,
sorry, my bad.
Oh, please don't apologize. Don't you ever fucking apologize for that.
Had that moment, like, let me go get to the heart real quick. But yeah, it's just that song. When I first heard it, I had to re-listen to it, and then I just started paying attention as my life goes and my career's elevated. Yeah, and as my career's elevated, and I'm like, I'm never put on that list of people that's like, oh man, make sure you hit up. Like, I bust my ass to people who finally notice me will hit me up. But initially, I'm not on that, oh, we got to hit up Jay Washington list. Yeah. And so it does get me a lot of times. It does sting me. Again, when we talked about earlier, how some places will hire one black man, one black woman. I hate that I'm the second or third option. Like, you know, because their list is real short and it's always 1 or 2 sprinkled in there. I hate that I'm those those secondary options when I know, and I'm never taking credit away from any of my brothers and sisters who get opportunities. I'm just as good as they are. Yeah. Yeah. You know, so it gets me sometimes.
I hear you. Trust me. It sucks to stand behind Hector Navarro all the time. Let me tell you. Doing 47 different. I mean, how many shows can one Latino do? I have to build my own shows because Hector has 47 shows, for God's sakes. There's other Latino hosts. There are other Latino hosts. Just saying. All right. To answer his question, what was it? Your anthem song? Mine is always going to be Nas, You Can Hate Me Now. The first time I heard those lyrics, that's the first song I played when I came out to my first live show as the Outlaw, because that is my song. You know, it's been a long time coming. Looks like the death of me now, but you know there's no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am. You can hate me now, but I won't stop now, because I can't stop now. And you can hate me now, but I won't stop now. Don't hate me. Hate the money I see. Clothes that I buy. Ice that I wear. Clothes that I try. Close your eyes. Picture me rolling sixes money folding. All of that. Most critically acclaimed Pulitzer winner. Best storyteller. Thug narrator. My style's greater. And he goes on like all of it is just it's just my jam all around. Even Puff Daddy can't ruin that one. I love it to pieces. No offense to Puff Daddy, but I love it to pieces. It's just the one that speaks to me. And 1A is a PSA from Jay-Z.
Yes,
that
indeed.
One always, every single time, man.
Did you see Calvin said you got to let him on because he got a white woman and a half black kid ready?
I don't know, Calvin. Let's get through everybody else's super chats and Streamlabs, and I'll let you bag on. You hang on. Like I held on for you. You got to hang on now for a little bit, man. We got a lot of stuff that came through. Make sure I get to everybody. I don't want to miss anybody. All right, there was that one there. So Trash Panda says, shout out to Jay, who's been a voice of reason and truth in our sphere. It's important that we all just listen. Thank you and John both. There you go, Jay. Love from Trash Panda 40.
Thank you. It means a lot. Seriously. I sometimes I just tell people thank you so much, and I appreciate it because there's not enough words to express how I honestly and legit feel that everybody's been supportive. And I saw what Corey Scott Johnson said, and that's why I'm ignoring it right now. I saw it because I noticed what you giggling about. But
yeah,
it's just been, it just got to be honest, and like I said before, and I know this video gonna be seen by a lot of people. I probably won't get a lot of work in this internet world after this because they're gonna be like, "Oh, do we want to have the angry black guy?" I'm always gonna be the angry black guy because I'm black. I'm always gonna be angry in this world because of how this world treats me. But I'm also that dude that makes sure he works. So.
Yep. Yeah, you are a worker, my man. No, total respect to you. Michael Nip throwing in $30. No comment. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that donation. Very, very kind of you, my man. Let's see who else we got rolling down here. Make sure I get to everybody. Oh yeah, there's Corey Scott Johnson says, "Don't worry, Jay. We will get you on that list, and if need be, we will roll up to those casting calls with the tight end squad." I like it. I
appreciate it.
I'd be afraid of some tight ends rolling through me. John Lestrina, much love and respect, boys. I'd love to see Jay step into the ring with Keith Lee. Keith going over with a pounce and second rope moonsault.
First off, thank you for calling the finish. Secondly, fuck you for calling that finish. I have much respect for Keith Lee. I've watched what he was doing on the indie circuit. And that man is a phenom in the ring and what he does. His size, stature, and stamina are just amazing. I would love to step in the ring with him. Like I am gonna keep pushing him. I mean, I know my in-ring career ain't that long left. I don't have that long left in it, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna half-ass it at all. Like that's why I've been working out. That's why I'm getting smaller by the day. Like I'm in 2XL t-shirts, and people be like, "Who's that kid?" I'm a grown-ass man, dog.
Oh, I ain't calling no man delicious. I'm a grown ass man.
You know what it is, bro? I'm a grown ass man delicious.
Call you delicious. All right, let's see. We got some Streamlabs roll through as well, Jay. Oh, Alex O'Neill donated $50. Here you go, guys. Thank you, Alex. Very, very kind of you to chip in and throw in here. Awesome stuff. Corey Cameron donated. He said, "Is there a line or should there be a line for Afro-Americans using the N-word? As a black person, I've almost given it up completely for personal reasons, but I wanted to know your thoughts." This is interesting because you and Winston do use that word on our shows. Right. Do you have a line, or how do you feel about it?
All right, I'm glad this question was asked, and this is a very good question, and this is a very good question, and that's been a topic of discussion. I think I know the word. We all know the word, where it came from. We know its origins. We know what it is, what it means, and what it was meant to be used for.
Yeah,
right. It is. I compare the way black people now use that word as synonymous as the way women now take the word bitch. If that makes sense. Yeah. I see a lot of women call each other, "What's up, bitch?" But then when they say what's bitch, being in total control of herself. Saying things like that. And I look at it as it sounds weird to say a term of endearment, but it's a way we've communicated. And I get it. Some people try to say now, I know a lot of black people say they've taken it out of their vocabulary because of those reasons. And I can't fault them for that at all by any stretch of the imagination. I understand. Me, it's just when I say it to people, I say it because I'm not just gonna be. If I can help it myself personally, I'm not just trying to be blatantly disrespectful. I just say with people I'm joking with, I'm like, "Yo," it's just like saying "boy, bruh," things like that. And so it's just that, but I do definitely understand where you're coming from. And like I said, your conversation, your discussion and question is not one that hasn't been heard many times before. Many times. But like I said, I use it in comparison to the way a lot of women I know use bitch with each other. Like all my homegirls, they'll call each other and they'll be like, bitch, listen, bitch, shut up. And they'll it's playful. It's never in a hurt because it's between the two of them. They know it. So I think it's taking that power away. But at the same time, as much as we take that power away, if I say nigga to Winston or somebody else I'm kicking it with, but when you say you nigger, because of the way you said it with those dirty intentions, with that anger and that hatefulness, that is something that is, no matter as much as we try to take the power away, it still stings.
Yeah. That's a very great point, Jay. AZ Badfish, wow, donated $60 here. Said, love you all. Shout out to the super villain squad. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Very, very kind. So let's take a look at the runnings right now. We are almost at $700. So thank you all so much. $674 raised tonight. Thank you guys. As I said earlier, Jay is going to tell me where I can send this, and we will send it along.
And the rest can go. And the rest can go to $$ Mr. J. Washington as a fundraiser for him, because this is a fundraiser to keep him awake. Y'all definitely give it. I see some comments in the chat real quick I want to address, and it was Worksheet Podcast. He asked me, did I ever work with Pineapple Pete? His success in AEW. Right. Yo, Pineapple Pete is my boy Sugar Dunkerton. I worked with him for years in IWA Mid-South. That's how we came up together. Then I worked with him in Elite Pro Wrestling. I can't tell you how happy I am for my bro. He is one of those people. The reason, not only did he bust his ass, he's been busting his ass around the world. Yeah. Again, when things got on lockdown, AEW were hitting up certain Southeastern talent to see if, look, are you willing to come do this? Yeah. And of course, a lot of talent was like, no. Some talent didn't want to go and do it, but he was one of those talents that wanted to, and he showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so happy for my brother.
Yeah. Respect all around to him. All right, I'm going to bring in Calvin, man. I'm a little worried about this, but he says he's got a white woman and a dog, half daughter. So all right, let's see, Calvin.
Hey,
right.
Calvin, turn off your headphones or your speaker.
Keep trying, Jay. He doesn't like to do it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not good with that, man. But
no worries.
What up, Jay, man? What up? I got a white girl here. Yes, I do. And she's walking out the room. I got a half black. My daughter is half black. She's walking out the room. Now they're afraid to be on camera. Anyway,
first of all,
they have
you just called them out plain and simple. Like, look, I got a white woman right here. Right. and I got a half black daughter. You can't just sit there and put them out there like,
put them out on Front Street, Jay. You know how we do.
Whoa.
Shit, we doing dozens over here. But yeah, you know, they have strong opinions about. Will you stop laughing? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rocha. I'm sorry to disrupt your show, sir.
It's standard, Calvin. It's standard by now. What do you got to say?
I know. But I'm sorry to disrupt the show. But they have strong opinions, but they don't want to get on here and talk about them. We done had a very heated discussion in here, and they don't want to get on here and talk about it. And that infuriates me because I think people need to hear that from these two different perspectives. Like I said, a half black youth and a middle-aged. Can I call you middle-aged? Is that bad?
Oh my God!
Anyway,
you just buried yourself, man.
But yeah, I mean, we had it. They've got various different perspectives on this. And I was trying to get them to come on and talk about it, but
you can't always. Everybody doesn't want to get in front of the camera.
Yeah,
like, I get it. But you're not going to keep putting your woman and your kid out there like that, bro. You got to go to sleep.
That's not my woman, but yes.
Oh, my. Well, Jesus.
She's a very dear friend of mine. She happens to be my baby mama, but she's
all right.
And she will tell you the same. She will tell you the same.
Right. Look here, Father. I want to pray for this man's soul. Jesus.
No, I love both of them very much. I mean, they mean the world to me. They really
Respect,
do.
Man. Respect, man.
But I mean, that's just the way it is, Jay. You know what I mean? I mean, you have if I'm not mistaken, you've got what, 3 kids?
Oh, don't you put no extra babies on me?
I'm calling you out, son. I'm calling you out.
and a 6-year-old daughter. Don't you add no more to them.
But you know what I'm talking about, Jay. You know what I'm saying.
I got kids. My kids, but I kind of don't know with this situation. Like, I got kids. My kids not half black, and I'm trying to force it in front of a camera. I'm confused.
No.
Oh my God.
No. Now you went too far. Anyway, on the water.
You don't want to say that, Calvin, not me.
But no, man. You know. I just wanted to get them to give their perspective. Do you have anything to say? No. See, she won't do it. You have anything to say? She says, this is the grown woman. Mm-hmm. She says, "Fuck them." I don't know what that means.
Not us.
She says, "Fuck 'em."
We get you in trouble.
I didn't do nothing.
No, I'm not talking about you guys. She's talking about the situation.
I'm like, I'm just a black man in front of a bunch of cops.
Yeah, she's not talking about you guys. She's talking about. God damn it. See,
Calvin.
Yeah, she's talking about the situation. She says, "Fuck." She don't really care either way or either way.
Oh, okay.
What? Just give me something I can tell them.
There's nothing to say. Like,
well, my daughter she says there's nothing to say.
You see that comment?
Yes, that's a comment. People are going to comment. People are going to hate. Jocelyn, you know that. This is my girl over here. By the way, check out her TikTok. Because I always got to promote something. Check out her TikTok. Jocelyn. Look, Jay just walked away. Check out her TikTok. Jasmine Hope on TikTok. Check out her TikTok. I told you about this. John. She's got how many is it? 394,000.
You got 394,000 followers on
TikTok, John. You're slacking,
Jasmine.
You're slacking.
Jazz, you got to move out.
She's got you beat, son.
Get your
She's
own
got
place.
you beat. What did he say? Wait a minute. What was that?
You need to move out. What was that, John? Move out. Get your own place, because with 364,000, you should be able to get some sponsors, subscribers.
All kinds.
Get your own place, Jasmine. Emancipate yourself.
God damn it, John Rogan. That's my little girl. What the fuck's wrong with you? Anyway, what the fuck?
Make your own money, Jasmine.
What is wrong with you? Anyway,
Jasmine, make your own money.
Outlaw Nation. But still, goddamn. Anyway, all right.
You need to buy that place where Calvin is working so he can work for you, Jasmine. Come on, get up in that. Make that money.
Actually, that's true.
No,
wait a minute. I'm going to correct you on this. I'm going to correct you real quick.
All right.
You said Jasmine. Her name is Jazz Lynn.
Oh, Jazz Lynn. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's her name.
All right, fair enough. We got that deep accent.
I have to do that all the time. Everybody thinks her name's Jazz. Who's that Disney character? Is that a Disney character?
Yeah, Jasmine.
I'm sorry, John. It's chaos over here. I'm sorry for this. I really am. But I had to get on because it's Outlaw Nation. I had to get on.
That's right.
You know how I am.
You know it is. I know, Calvin. I know.
I wanted to get their perspectives. Anyway, we're going to calm it down here. Let y'all get back to what you're going to do. I'm sorry. So
don't apologize.
Just get me out of here right now so I can get away from this.
Ben says, dude, Calvin needs a spin-off show.
He's talking about I need my own show. Anyway, I'm not going to make a show. Sorry for everybody. It's not going to happen.
Jaslyn,
anyway, let me take one moment.
All right.
Y'all stop for a second. Stop. Both of y'all stop.
I feel harassed. I feel
You're not harassed. Stop.
Get off my neck.
Stop.
Get off my neck.
God damn it. Hold on, Rocha. Hold on, Rocha. Give me one moment. Let me get
you. Need to.
Stop. Please stop. Rocha.
Yeah.
You know you the greatest. You know I love you, bro.
I appreciate it.
You know you my boy. And Jay, I love you, man. I've been watching you ever since you came on the scene. I've been watching. Shut the fuck up. I've been watching you ever since you came on the scene, son. I know what you're about. I love you. You're great. You're a good guy.
like it.
Anyway, they're going to make fun of me all fucking night for this. I don't give a shit. Anyway,
I like the Calvin corner.
Look.
Nobody knows
Calvin
what
corner.
I'm
Yes,
like
they
the Calvin
do because
corner.
they know me. Anyway, I love you, Rocha. Get me out of here.
All right,
Please
Calvin,
get
thank
me out
you
of
so
here. Get me
much.
out of here. Get me
Hey,
out of here.
Jaslyn,
I love you, Jay, and I love you, Rocha.
What?
Jaslyn, move out. Get your own
Black
place. Get
Lives
your own
Matter.
money.
Jaslyn, get on here. Anyway, she
I get free.
That is the greatest way to end this show.
Goddamn it, Jaslyn, listen. I listen, Rocha, I love you. You got it. Come on, tell your opinion. Tell your opinion. Hell no, what was it? Listen, goddamn, you don't make me making fun of me on this goddamn show. Listen, Rocha, listen, I love you, okay? I'm here because it's Outlaw Nation. Jay, I just found out I've been knowing who you are, but I know what you stand for. Goddamn it, I'm Calvin. I'm Calvin. I Yeah, Calvin got tight end. Listen, I got thoughts on Black Lives Matter. Listen, Rocha, goddamn it, you should have never did this shit with jail here because they ain't never living this shit down, okay? I'm Calvin, okay? Listen, Jazz, listen, follow my baby's TikTok. That's what got me right there.
Yeah, right.
Follow my baby's TikTok. I came on Rocha's show to sit there and promote my baby's TikTok, which I love. That's a good ass daddy. Promote a half white TikTok. Listen, the half black side was getting the followers. Half white, they don't know yet.
I like this. Wait. I like Calvin versus a Flirtin' Flouse. Book that shit. The longest Schmoedown match ever. Listen, wait. She's so confused. Jaslyn has over 360,000 followers on TikTok, yet doesn't want to come on camera to talk. Well, TikTok is taped. You tape that. It ain't live. It's a whole nother ballgame when you're live. All right. Jay, I think we got to wrap. We got some more Streamlabs that came in real quick. Round it up. Brian Chandler sent in $26. Thank you, Ryan. And Tavishka Productions donated some more. He said, cheers to a great show and fundraiser. Here's to $10 to get close to that 700. Till next time, Nafki. He said brother in parentheses. So I guess that's what that means. Yes, we crossed the $700 mark, man. $711. So thank you all so much for donating tonight. And I'll talk to Jay about where he wants that to go once it all comes through. But thank you all so much. And please swing that cursor button over or swing that mouse button and hit that like on your whatever. Swing the cursor over. Hit that thumbs up button. There it is. I'm
crying so hard.
Dude, Calvin, we're going to have to check on him tomorrow, dude.
Everybody in the comments got nervous like, yo, this dude ain't going to make it.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to take a look at him, man. Make sure Calvin's all right. But Calvin every week comes in. He's one of the most memorable parts of every episode of the Outlaw Nation.
You know what? But it's a good thing you have fans like that and people like that who are amazing to come through and just bring. Again, I was just saying, you need that light and that love and that laughter like throughout all this is somebody that makes you forget about all the dumb shit. But just to hear him go, I got a half white child and a white middle-aged, I can call you middle-aged. The fact he said in the middle-aged, I can call it after.
I just love said, that's my baby mama. We ain't, it ain't like that. We're just good friends.
We're just good friends. We just had sex a couple times and made a baby. Other than that, she's just here.
Too much, man. Too much. Well, we should wrap up the show there. I've taken enough of Jay's time, and he's been very kind to come on. He was exhausted, but he came on the show. Hopefully, we picked up his spirits, put some life in him for his workout he's got coming on. But Jay, I can't thank you enough. I've grown to feel close to you, my man, and I always enjoy spending time with you when I get to spend the time with you. And tonight was no different. And thanks so much for being willing to come on and then talking to all the fans and talking about all the stuff you've been going through and being honest about it. I know it can be exhausting. Next time you come on, we'll talk movies, we'll talk fun stuff, stand up, all that jazz. We'll have a little bit of fun, but with an eye on the serious things that are going on in the world as well.
I'll say this. I met you one of my first Schmoedown matches I went to watch, and I was like, who is this dude with this ego? Fuck, who is he? Jesus Christ, who's this outlaw asshole? But then as I've gotten to know you, not only just through the Schmoedown, but then coming into Collider every day and seeing you and us just talking and hanging out and working together on a lot of stuff on Collider, you've become one of my damn good friends, my brothers, and I'm always honored to be a part of whatever you want me to be a part of. That's why I was here. Like I said, regardless of how tired I am, I'm here for you, dog, and I appreciate you for letting me come on here to speak about this. You know, again, it's not we have platforms. They may not be the big. We're not on these major networks. We're not on these major cable platforms. But to be able to use our platforms and our voices, and for you to do this, dog, it's meant a lot, bro. Real talk.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Jay. Thank you so much. I'm out. I've done 4 shows today. I'm out of voice. I got to go rest for tomorrow. And I'll let Jay go and do some plugs. But Jay, please plug everything you're doing. Plug everywhere you're at right now, my man.
Sure. You already know you can find me Twitter, Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington because it's right there in front of your faces if you're watching this. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAY Washington 80. I got a lot of movie reviews, the review for Harley Quinn. I'm going to review Stargirl on there again. I'm going to do the trailer reaction for Bill and Ted 3 and so much more. So join over there. I go live a lot of times and just have random conversations, just being straight from the hip and straight from the heart. So I'll be over there. Also, my Patreon, my Supervillain Squad, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. I'm about to put up a question tonight or a discussion. I want to talk about Ruby Rose and Batwoman because I haven't been able to go into it in full, but I want to go into it with the members of the squad, so please join there and check out the Mad Titan podcast everywhere you get your podcast from. I get you caught up on everything happening in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. It's barbershop talk for nerds. Come on in that convo. And last but certainly not least, Blurs in the Hood every Tuesday live 2 p.m. on the Blurs in the Hood YouTube channel and on our Blurs in the Hood Twitch channel, youtube.com/BLERDS, the letter NTHEHOOD, and that goes as well for twitch.tv. Me and my boy, the swaggy Blur, my brother Winston A. Marshall. And if you want to cash at me, because I've been raising funds, I can use some fundraisers. It's the $ sign Mr. J Washington. It's Venmo at Mr. J Washington. Trust me, be a blessing. I'll tell you, I'm like right now. I paid bills. I'm broke. Okay. But no, seriously, thank you so much. Like, let me just plug it.
Spend some money on me. I'm Calvin. Hashtag do $ sign Mr. J Washington. I don't have a half black baby. I got 2 black kids. Okay, black babies matter. You understand? One need clothes. Mr. J Washington is on the cash app and
Respect, man. Respect. And I look forward to your Stargirl stuff because my friend Joe Knezovich is on that show. He plays Mr. Wizard. So it is
that's the dude that's the wizard?
Yeah, he plays the wizard. It's my friend. We went to college together. Shit. Yeah, and so I'm going to try to get him for a special interview on the Outlaw Nation. He's reached out to me a couple times on Facebook chat to talk to me about what it's like on the set and how much he's been having fun on that set.
So they're able to do it because I know some of the shows are so crazy. Like even if you're close friends with them, like the network has to approve it.
Right. So hopefully I can put the pitch in, then Joe can get it approved by them so I can have him on the show because I've been enjoying the show and it's great to see that you're covering it as well, my man. So, all right, let's let Jay go so we can go to his workout and we'll stay a little bit afterwards, have a little post show with everybody. So thanks so much, Jay. I love you.
Thank you, everybody. Love you too. Again, keep supporting John. Please keep supporting Outlaw Nation. I thought I'd work hard. This man has decided to be in front of the camera every single day, all day. Hey, bro, I sometimes got to take a break from this shit. So you keep doing what you're doing. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank y'all. Love y'all. I'm out. Bye.
Respect. Peace. That was Jay Washington there, just hanging out with us for about a couple of hours, a little over 2 hours. Even though he's exhausted, he's found time to hang out with us, and I can't thank him enough. It was a blast, certainly. And Calvin coming at the end, even the number one thing there, number one part of it for sure, him coming in. But listen, I want to thank all of you who are so incredible to spend the money that you spent tonight and get us over $700. You know, I put that goal of 500 to get to 700. It has been incredible and overwhelming and very humbling. And maybe next time we'll shoot for 1,000 sometime later on this week, maybe, and do it that way. But I thank you all so much. I'll talk with Jay Washington about where he wants it all to go. Wiley, what'd you think? Good show. Did you enjoy yourself?
It was amazing. I haven't laughed this in a long time. Which I wanted to talk to your viewers real quick, Rocha.
Yeah.
We have been discussions of clipping out things. So if you guys have just came in and you kind of missed it, but you don't have quite that time to watch the full show, we're going to start pulling out clips for you guys so you guys really enjoy that content.
Yeah, and if you're watching us later on, please hit that thumbs up button. We only got 125 likes, something like that tonight. We had over 170 y'all watching, so it would be nice to get those likes up higher. And please, if you're watching later afterwards, after we've already done this, please leave a comment below. Let's just say anything you want, anything positive, or you can leave some constructive criticism as well. But the more comments you leave on every one of these videos, the more it elevates us in the algorithm of YouTube to get this channel seen and these episodes seen, these shows seen by them. So please don't forget to leave your comments below and hit that like button or the thumbs up button for this episode itself. Wiley, I think I'm going to wrap it, bro. I'm super tired. And I'm gonna go get myself some dinner. I've done 4 shows already today, and I got Mornings with the Outlaw coming tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow 8:15 a.m. me and Alex Shawshak on Mornings with the Outlaw. Going to go until about 9:45. It's to set you up for SEN Live. We'll do that, and then tomorrow also recording for Thursday. We're recording Geek Buddies. So hope you guys have been enjoying the Geek Buddies. The numbers have gone up, so I hope that means you guys are enjoying the conversations we're having on the show. Thank you all so much, and don't forget to watch all the content we have here on the Outlaw Nation. We're going live again on Friday with a new episode of Strong Style, and also on Friday, I'll be dropping my interview with Dave Cyrus. Dave is one of the writers for the new film, The King of Staten Island, from Judd Apatow. He is him and Pete Davidson worked on the script. Judd Apatow coming in to work on the script with them as well. And then Judd directing the movie, of course, Pete being the star. So we sat down for an hour today, talk about the movie, talk about his comedy, and how he approaches the world now in the age of Black Lives Matter as a comedian. So really great conversation. And for those of you who might not know who he is, he played the character of Brick Stone, who was interrogating and interviewing those Westboro Baptist church people on the internet. So go and find a lot of that fun. So we'll be doing that as well. So much happening here in the Outlaw Nation. I can't thank you all enough. Oh, and tomorrow, Steve Morris joins me. We recorded it today. I'm going to drop tomorrow our review for Be Water, spoiler review for that new 30 for 30 documentary on Bruce Lee that showed on ESPN. So look for that tomorrow as well. So, all right, that's it for me. I got to go.
Well, two more things.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Wiley.
All right. There's a hangout for the Patreon members only, guys, tomorrow at the certain $7 tier. You guys get to join and have a nice little hour-long conversation with John Rocha in the Discord. But you get into the Discord by joining the Patreon, and it's everything will be explained once you're in that. Yeah. And also, it looks like we've been going more down the route that our second hangout for the week will be on a Friday on Blue Jeans at 7. So 6 on tomorrow and 7 on Friday. Those are, and the $7 one. The 7 o'clock one is on videos. So it's kind of like this. You have a conversation. It's private, not recorded. Rocha as he is. He already is on here, but it's really, really Rocha. And also, if you guys are looking for more content, I know because YouTube gets at some points where you feel like you have a lot to do, but mostly you don't have a lot to watch. So definitely join the Patreon. He is developing 4 new shows that will be coming out during the month, so you guys will not be missing that content. But that's I have to say. I also wanted to say one more thing. Thank you, Darren Wright. He's been a Patreon for a long time, and he finally got to get on tonight. So that was a big deal for him. I said thank you for doing it. So that's great news.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was great talking to you, man. And it was great having you on the show. It's great having everybody who came on to join us live. This is every week, this Outlaw Nation show. Every week, we having these great guests and coming on live to talk with me. We might break the rules, though, for Christian Harloff. Christian Harloff can't do evenings, so I'm trying to work out to get him on live with me. So it might have to be an afternoon Outlaw Nation show with Christian for a couple hours. We'll see if we can make that happen, but it'll be a lot of fun to have him on the show down the road next couple of weeks. That's what I'm trying to lock down. So we'll see if we can make that work for sure. And also, like he said, join the Patreon right there, www.patreon.com/John Rocha, right over there.
I'll link it real quick.
There we go. Right over there. There we go. Right over there. Right Here's below Wiley. And you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Please subscribe to the Outlaw Nation channel below as well. I've lost some subscribers because of how much we've talked about this stuff in our content, but I've also picked up a bunch of subscribers and the views have gone up. So that tells me people are encouraged and like this content. Now follow that up with also subscribing to this channel so you can enjoy more and more of this content as we build and build in the Outlaw Nation here. All right, that's it for Wiley. Wiley, I'm gonna drop you off. Thanks so much for being a producer here on the show and doing all the stuff you did today. Love you, man, and love all of you. Thank you so much for coming aboard tonight, and look forward to our next show and our next great guest, and of course another great appearance from Calvin at some point with his Calvin Corner situation. So take care of yourselves, be well, and remember, things are happening out there in the world, but don't forget to do some self-care as well. Give as much as you can, but pull back a little bit when it's getting to be too much for yourself, and do some self-care. We don't want you getting lost in the battle or getting lost in the war as well. Always take care of yourself. Always focus in on what you need to, kind of stay level so that you can get back out there and give it your all again. So just want to make sure that's clear to all of you. And thank you all so much for being so positive and supportive as we've tackled the real issues that are going on in the world here in the Outlaw Nation and mixed it in with some humor and some topical stuff that's going on in the world of sports and entertainment as well. All right, that's it for me. Love to all of you. We'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of the Outlaw Nation Show. Be well until then.